What's up, everybody? Welcome to NorCal Sports and the Wizard of Oz with the Wicked Witch of the West riding her broomstick. Oh, wait. That was a bad broom. And this is a bad broom, so maybe it is a good analogy. The Giants get swept in Philly. And I can't tell you that I didn't see it coming. I knew they'd lose the first. I kind of felt like they'd win the first 3 games. So I wasn't calling a sweep early. But then when I saw the pitching matchup today, I told you last night, it's a sweep. It's a sweep. And this is getting, as Alive says, unwatchable. This is, hey, but guys, there's always what do they say? There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
What is that light? It would be Farhan. Do we have a picture of Farhan? Do we have anything of
I don't
Farhan?
think we got one in the hopper.
All right. We need to get something to Farhan going. Farhan is getting closer to being fired, and the end of this 5+ year experiment that has gone horribly wrong. And
Joe,
I've been telling you guys for quite a while since I was on Larry's show 2 seasons ago in 2022, and he started all of last year and this year. Farhan is the problem. He doesn't know how to construct and build a roster. They're not bringing up young guys. You think about it. We may be facing a complete overhaul here, because if Casey Schmidt, Elliot Ramos, Marco Luciano, Luis Matos, Wade Meckler, Bryce Eldridge, Walker Martin, Carson Wisenhunt, Reggie Crawford, Mason Black, Landon Roop, Birdsong. If these guys flop, then it's really, really bad. You got to hope that some of these guys are good. You think about this.
Good point, Dan. Because if they're not good, then we're in some issue. But we'll get into this a little bit later. Go for it, Dan.
Yeah, the thing about this ball club right now is, and I'm glad to see that. Oh, let's.
Yeah, we gotta get that super chat. There you go. Charlie Sinclair, $5. Hey, I haven't seen you in the chat before. Welcome. Thank you for the donation. Starting to make sense why the Padres let the Giants and Farhan hire Sleepy Bob with a smile on their faces. They got Arias. We get Sleepy Bob. Got trapped. I don't know if I want to go there with Bob Melvin.
But
he's a good manager. He only can do what he can do with what he has, right?
Yeah, the club is flawed.
Right.
But yeah. Thank you, Charlie. We appreciate the donation there and the comment. Great. It's a good comment. It's something to think about. I mean,
it could be a discussion, right?
Yeah.
But he's not making bad moves. He can only make moves with the roster that is given to him by Farhan.
A lot of talk on Farhan. I listened to Willard today on 95.7 The Game, and to hear Mark Willard finally go off on the Giants was a breath of fresh air, because and he even admitted, he goes, I've bought into this for 5 years and I've been wrong. He just thinks this team is awful. Murph this morning on KNBR was absolutely shredding Farhan. After the game, they took phone calls and the majority were calling for Farhan's job. The calls for Farhan's job are loud and growing. Yes, they are getting louder and louder and louder, and we will keep it up until he's gone. Because this team, I've been on record as saying they'll never win a darn thing as long as Farhan is in charge of this club. He's just not the right guy for the job. And, again, it's not a personal attack on Farhan as a person, okay? Separate the job from the person, okay? If Farhan was, I ran into him in a street and he was in a ditch, I'd be like the Good Samaritan and help him out, it's not anything personal to do with the man. This job is not, he's not cut out to do this job. Yeah, Lou, thanks. I did see that press conference earlier today. Got your text as well on it. I'd already seen it, but thanks. But this is a ball club, guys, that is going to have its struggles all year long. I want to get into this thing with a lot of these players. Eric's got the box score up there. You could see that Jung-Hoo Lee and Lamont Wade were guys that hit the ball today. Flores got a nice double down the left field line, but Lee hit the ball hard, got 2 hits. Wade got the 2 hits. But what I want to point out to you right here on this box score is you look out at Chapman and Conforto combined for 0 for 7 with 5 strikeouts. And between them, the two are hitting probably about a combined 215. 209 for Chapman, 219 for Yaz, 600 OPS, just over 600 for both. Guys, this is really, really bad. And I'll tell you why. Dan, didn't you praise Farhan for the signings this year? I did for Soler. I thought the Snell was a good signing at the time. It still could be. I mean, you had to get pitching. You might as well get somebody because they certainly weren't going to do anything without Snell. I was happy with the Soler signing. I wasn't crazy about the Chapman signing. I resigned myself to the fact that, it's what they did. I didn't like the Murphy signing. I never was for the Murphy signing. Who else? Jung-Hoo Lee. I was on board with the Jung-Hoo Lee signing. I thought it was an overpay, but still, I liked the signing. So I liked the Lee signing. I liked the Soler signing. Jordan Hicks, I liked the signing, but I felt like it should be a bullpen. He's better suited for the bullpen. So, and I still believe that. I still believe that he will be in the bullpen at some point. Hopefully they don't burn him out. Who else was the signing that they had? They had Lee, Soler, Chapman, Snell, Hicks. That's 5. Wasn't there a 6th? Oh, and Murphy. So I basically was for 3 of them. Lee, Soler, and the Hicks. I like the Hicks signing, but I still not crazy, even though the results have been somewhat positive as a starter. Charlie Sinclair, thank you again. He's a San Diego Padres fan. Snell is never good in the first half. Yeah, that's kind of what we were realizing as well, Charlie. Will Martinez says Melvin deserves some blame too for essentially begging for Chapman and not giving Schmidt a legitimate shot at third or shortstop. Yeah, I think there's something to be said there, Will. Also, I thought today it was bad that they. I'm not sure what happened with Eric. I think he's having some technical difficulties. Yeah, he says he's lagging, so he's got to reset, and he'll be with us in a few minutes. I thought the pitching Black, he hadn't thrown over 71 pitches in AAA. I don't know what they're doing down there in AAA. They babied Harrison all last year. Now they're doing it with Black. If these guys are starting pitchers, let them go 90 pitches, please. He goes 71 pitches. So today he throws like 80-something pitches. The 3-run homer to Bryce Harper was the 74th pitch he threw. And you had to pitch him because the bullpen has been wiped out because the starting pitching hasn't done its job. Logan Webb on this road trip, hasn't got into the 5th inning twice. So, yeah, Alive says Giants are 0-7 versus the Dodgers and Phillies. They can't play with the best. They look way overmatched, Alive. Totally overmatched for a club at the level of the Phillies and Dodgers. And they will face the same against the Braves. And there's not a lot of great teams in the National League. There's not a lot of great teams really in baseball. So you only have 4 or 5 really good teams in baseball, at least right now. And it probably won't be a whole lot more than that. So the Giants, crazy as it sounds, they're probably going to be in this race because the National League for the 3rd wild card, because the National League is pathetic. You're going to be playing against teams into September that are all bunched together within a few games of each other. I don't know how they stay in it with this lineup. The only way I guess they stay in it is because of the lack of talent out there in the game. Randy Hoffman says the player San Diego picked up, the Marlins never called other teams. You can't get mad at the front office. I'm not sure if I understand that. Wait, the player San Diego picked up. You're talking about Arias? The Marlins never called other teams. You can't get mad at the front office. I'm not sure what you totally mean by that. Lou says the National Central will have 3 teams. Yeah, that's a possibility, Lou. Chicago, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, or Cincinnati, or St. Louis. Yeah, I could possibly see that. I mean, they might even get 4 if it's possible. No, they won't get all 3 of the wild cards because you're going to get Atlanta or Phillies getting the other. Let's see. Ohtani hit another home run today. That's 11, right? Ohtani's on a tear. Ohtani is going to hit 50, I told you, this year. Yes, that's correct, Will. The Marlins didn't call other teams because Preller made an offer they couldn't refuse. Yeah, Farhan could have did the same, but he didn't. Isn't built that way. Correct. Robert, Dan, if the players played up to their expectations, it would be different. I think the players, except for Soler, are playing, and Flores. Strada's starting to come around.
Yeah, Strada's starting to play better. Except today, I mean, you win against Zach Wheeler. It was going to be tough.
I think they are playing to their expectations. You guys are Robert, you and some of the other guys out there had unrealistic expectations of Matt Chapman. Matt Chapman is done.
Hey, Dan, here's a good point. What does Matt Chapman and Soler have had in their careers when they've succeeded?
They've been on good teams.
They've had protection in the lineup.
Right.
They can't protect each other because they needed protection when they were both on the A's for Chapman A's and Toronto. And then for Soler, he had to succeed with the guys around him in Kansas City, Chicago, Miami, Atlanta. So these guys don't have the protection. It's going to be more difficult for them to succeed. I mean, you've said it all along. Chapman is a career 240 hitter, right? You bring up the stats, you bring up the numbers, you bring up the facts of what this guy is going to give you.
He's going to be worse than 240, I'm telling you.
Right now he is.
I don't think Matt Chapman, here's why Matt Chapman doesn't get a lot better. He'll have his moments. Matt Chapman, hear me out, people. Matt Chapman, watch his swing path. He's got one swing path. And if the ball's in that path, he's going to hit it, which means this. He's got to hit mistakes because pitchers hit
mistakes in the zone. Yeah.
Pitchers know it's not even strikes in his zone. There's parts that are holes.
He's having issues.
He has one swing path
up to that fastball.
He has one swing path, and the ball's got to be in that path for him to make contact. So pitchers are going to throw. Did you guys see the thing I put out today on Twitter? Can you play that? I can't get my Twitter to operate. The one that I put the video on Chapman.
Let's see.
Or do we get nailed for those things?
Oh, it's MLB, isn't it? I'm not going to play it if there's an MLB clip.
Well, guys, I can just tell you this. There was 2 strikes on him, and I said, throw him a slider. He'll chase it. And what did Wheeler do? He threw him a wicked curve. It probably wasn't a full slider. It was a curve. And it went out of the zone, and Chapman went chasing it. It was just like clockwork. I've watched this guy enough in his career and more than ever this year to see that he's just not going to get you a ton of production. Just not going to happen. And so Chapman will struggle, which means the rest of the team is probably going to struggle. Matt Chapman belongs in the 7th hole. At best. He's been anywhere from 4 to 6 this year. I don't know if he's batted third. He may have even batted third a couple of games. I don't think where was he in the lineup today? 6th?
Somewhere around there.
Let me look.
6th or 7th.
I think he was the box score.
Here, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
Maybe Yaz was behind him. Yeah. It's not a kilt. Matt Chapman belongs on the Savannah Bananas.
And you know what? I mean, I can't understand some of the takes some of these people have when you get into a discussion talking about Casey Schmidt and Matt Chapman. I can't understand. You try, it's incredible. You try to have a logical conversation on Twitter talking about the Giants. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. You saw the stuff that I was having going on earlier today, right?
You got knuckleheads out there.
The thing is, I didn't even come at him in a way that was derogatory, that was getting at him. I just was laying out facts, talking about Schmidt. You know, you have a small sample size of Schmidt, and you got 7 years worth of Chapman. So we don't know what we have in Schmidt. He may suck. He may absolutely suck. But we don't know that because he hasn't having enough time. This is the problem with this. This is more of a societal problem. Everyone wants it to happen right now.
Oh,
boom,
yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Absolutely. I got a guy on Twitter tonight who said this about Casey. He says, Casey put up horrid 580 OPS across 277 plate appearances, even for a rookie. Putting up that bad of a first impression rarely results in sustained major league success. I like the kid, and I think there's a larger chance he's a long-term solution than Chapman, but it's not like he's very good.
Okay,
and I told him, I said,
I could at least work with that, right?
Yeah. So I said, guys like you would have given up on Matt Williams. And he came back and says, yes, I absolutely would have. but I also don't work for an organization that has the insights that these orgs have. I'm sure if the teams were high enough on Schmidt, despite the frustrating rookie year he had, he would be in the majors like Williams was. But here we are with Chapman. Well, the problem is
that's the issue is I don't trust this organization.
The organization doesn't know what's going on. They don't make good judgments.
They
don't. I mean, look, they haven't given Elliot Ramos a chance. He may be a bust. But you know what?
Right.
We don't know. You don't even know if Joey Bart's a bust. He's never played every day except for the 2022 season when he really wasn't ready. He was not ready to play, but they put him in because Buster retired.
Correct.
And they were going to, let him develop a little bit more. Remember, he had some injuries in AAA. He broke his hand a couple times. He mashed it a couple levels. And then he broke his hand like twice, got hit by pitches.
That's 100% Necron. None of us, me, Dan, nobody, no fan. We can only say the organization, and I still have issues with that. No fan can sit here and say we know what we have as prospects because we haven't seen enough. We have not seen enough. And let me get into this too, Dan. Mason Black, right? He's supposed to be a starting pitcher. And I heard this on KMBR because I was on my way to an appointment.
You're talking about the pitch count?
Exactly. He's a starting pitcher.
I already went over that. Yeah.
How is that setting up your guy for success when all you're doing is having him go out there and throw 71 pitches? And is it no surprise that during the game, when did he give up all those runs? After he surpassed 70 pitches.
Yep. 74th pitch was the 3-run homer.
Come on, man. I mean, what's
going on? He probably wouldn't have pitched over 70 if the bullpen wasn't shot.
Exactly.
But, Logan Webb hasn't helped, and nobody's really helped. But that's what I said earlier when you had troubles there with.
Gotcha.
I said that. What are you doing pitching a guy 70 pitches? They did this to Harrison last year.
They did it to Harrison last year. Exactly. What? Why? He's a starting pitcher.
You got to go 90.
Out, guys.
You got to go 90. I watched Mitch Keller tonight. Pirates. Mitch Keller. About 110 pitches, complete game. Yes.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty efficient, 110 pitches on.
Yeah, he almost did it in 100, but the guy kept fouling pitches off. The last guy took him about 8 pitches to get him out. But, most of the teams are playing their young guys. Giants aren't playing the young guys. And I'll tell you what's going to happen here,
guys. They had such a chance last year.
They did. They had such a chance.
And this year.
I think I'm not going to be shocked if Elliot Ramos is in the lineup tomorrow night.
You won't be shocked, huh?
I will not be shocked if Elliot Ramos is in the lineup tomorrow night. He's playing. Are they playing tonight in Salt Lake City? Is it tonight?
I think so.
That's a short flight to Denver.
Yeah, it's not very far. You think something? Who? Okay.
I think Slater's. We're getting close to Slater being gone.
And why, on God's green earth, did you pinch hit Lamont Wade, who already had 2 hits?
Because it had nothing to do with Wade. It was about giving Slater. Did you hear Fleming?
Oh God.
No, you don't know where I'm going with this.
Let me hear you.
Fleming said, this is not so much about Wade, but it's getting Slater at bats. And he said, he said, here's the key, at least a few more. At least a few more. Did anybody catch that, or was it just me?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Come on.
I saw him come up to bat, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah. He said, you got to listen to the fine line here. At least a few more, which means his time is near.
Oh, Pence dropped the doozy too. Once you get to the major leagues, you don't develop no more. That was another fantastic. This guy's a major leaguer. I can't believe he actually said that. I haven't never played.
Who said this?
Pence during the broadcast.
Oh, what did he say?
Once you get up to the major leagues, the development stops. Something to that effect.
That's nuts. I mean, I know,
Why would you say that?
I know he played and he knows more than any of us, but
I don't understand why he would even
guys
say, I
do,
don't get it.
guys' games still develop.
Exactly. It's always it's a game of adjustments, right?
Yeah, you gotta. I
What?
mean, guys.
We got bigger things to worry about than the broadcasters. Maitland Eagle. Haven't seen you in the chat. Welcome. $5. Appreciate that. Never liked Farhan. Why did the Giants hire a former Dodgers scout? Okay, let's clarify. Never been a scout.
Yeah, he wasn't a
Farhan
scout.
has
He was
never been a scout. So it
been
should make you
an analytical. Whatever
he was a computer guy. He was a financial guy. That should make you even more disgusted. So he goes, just disgusted. He hasn't built anything since he's been hired. Get rid of Maitland. We've been saying that for a long time. Welcome.
Yeah, Farhan needs to go quickly, very quickly. And the noise is getting louder.
It's getting louder and louder.
You're hearing it from Mad Dog. You're hearing it from Willard. You're hearing it from other people within the organization, not the organization, but within the Bay Area media groups, mostly talk radio. You're seeing it a little bit on Twitter with some of the Giants media types that are not the beat writers, but follow the team. So it's going to get to the point, guys. If somebody said it at the very beginning of the chat, and I wanted to put it up, it was one of the first.
Let me hit this guy real quick. Macchiano says that they say that because they're getting paid. But you know what? Fleming never used to be this way. He used to call it pretty straight when he was first few years. His first few years, he was calling it pretty straight. Now he's gone full force. There is nothing negative about the Giants whatsoever, it seems. All right, what was it? Do you remember who said it, Dan?
I'm going to pull it up here. It was I don't remember who said it.
Oh, yeah, and I saw your tweet. I guess the Padres signed Donovan Solano. Huh?
Yep.
Oh, wow, look at this. All the donations coming. I appreciate that. Tyler, a wise guy, $5. Thank you, sir. This Giants team is so frustrated to watch. It's a waste of time. Waste of my time. I hope Farhan gets fired. There needs to be changes. Look at this. This has been going on the last couple of days. It's really been catching fire. Have you noticed that, Dan, in our chat? You're starting to see people starting to come around. You're starting to see people in our chat that, I haven't seen them before, and I'm glad they're here, but they're starting to see the light.
Yep. We've been trying to tell you for over a year and a half, but I'm glad it's starting to resonate.
And anonymous. And that's very possible. He may not be able to ever hit in the bigs, but his defense is right around there with Chapman, right? Especially the way Chapman's playing this year, right? Makes more sense to see if he can put it all together than pay and watch it. Yes, exactly. Let's see what they got. It's not going to hurt nothing to look. I mean, really? Come on, guys. Don't you want to see what the heck the Giants have? It's just I just don't understand it. Last year, you started seeing a glimpse. You saw Schmidt came up. You saw Bailey. You saw Matos, Luciano for a little bit of Harrison. And one thing I did like about Schmidt, he came in strong. Then he slumped a little bit, right? He slumped.
Yep.
Went down to the minus, but when he came back up, it looked like he was making adjustments. And that's all you can ask for from a young guy. If they're making adjustments and you're seeing effects of that, that's all you can ask.
I can't remember who said it, but somebody said in the beginning something like, you ought to hope the Giants get swept in Colorado. That way Farhan gets hopefully fired. That's personally what I want to see, because I am tired.
Thanks.
You know what? I'm tired of trying to root for a club that is going nowhere. I know it's going nowhere. They're not built. This team is not built to it needs some hitters. If it had some hitters, it would be built to compete for a championship because of the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small chance that they get, everything goes right. Snell gets right. Webbs is right. Ray comes back and is Robbie Ray of close to his Cy Young year. And then Cobb comes back and pitches well some point in the second half. And you all of a sudden you have 4 starters, not to mention Harrison or Wynn or Hicks that are capable. You have the makings of a pitching staff that can do damage, but they can't hit their way out of a wet paper bag.
That's the issue. You still got to score runs. And
They're not going
to. They're not doing.
Look, guys. Listen to this. How ridiculous is this? In the last 11 games, the Giants have scored 4 runs once, and that was by a guy who won't even be on the team a week from today.
Reitz?
Jackson Reitz comes up and hits a home run in the 9th inning last night to make it 5-4. Otherwise, this would have been 11 straight games of scoring 3 runs or less. That's
Mike. Oh, go ahead.
Geez.
Michael Roeder, $5. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. DFA Slater and Murphy. Give Fitzgerald more playing time. Bring up Ramos and bring up Schmidt to give Chapman a week or 2 off. You know what? See, I like to bring up the Ramos. I like the Fitzgerald. I like the DFA Slater and Murphy. But if you're going to bring up Schmidt, I want it more than just a week or 2. It's got to.
I think what you could do with Schmidt there also is you could give Chapman a rest, as he's saying, but then you could and they're not going to give him a week or 2 because that just isn't the way it goes in baseball.
But that's also a bad look for Chapman because we're only we're talking 36 games in the books.
Well, you would bring him up to play him at short, and then
okay,
and then what you would do, you'd probably, even though he says give Fitzgerald more playing time, Schmidt would probably take over Fitzgerald's spot, and Schmidt would be the shortstop, and then Ahmed would become the backup, and then Schmidt would at times give Chapman
a break.
A break. And I think you're getting close to that. I really do. I think
they're going to have to do something, right? Because did you even see what Melvin said at the postgame?
Yeah.
We've been playing bad, but this has been terrible. Something to that effect, right?
Yeah. You got to clean it up. He said, got to clean it up. Well,
thanks, Michael.
They're not making a ton of errors. They're making some, but it's not like last year.
Right.
But so when he talks about cleaning it up, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Give him a bigger, like one of those big giant wiffle ball bats that's got these
the big
things, big barrel,
the big red.
Yeah, the big. I mean,
I don't think there was an error. There was no errors today, though, right?
No, I
don't think there was any errors today.
I don't think so. No, I mean, this is. Did we already do the one from Tyler the Wise Guy? We did, right?
Yeah, already got that one.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyler. Pretty sure we got it here. Let me read it real quick. Pretty sure we got it. Did you get Randy Hoffman? There's a couple in here. Did you get these guys?
I don't know. I didn't see.
Here, hold on. Let me hit these to make sure. Charlie Sinclair with
I did.
$2.
Okay. I did get that one.
Randy Hoffman, this one?
Yeah, I got that one too. Okay. Yeah. So,
yeah, we did watch that. Yep.
This is going to be.
There's got to be changes, man.
There's 1 and 6. So I've definitely, at worst or at best, the Giants can do is 4 and 6. So I've already covered. You had a 6 and 4.
I had him 6 and 4, man, and they're 1 and 6 right now.
Didn't Vince give a prediction too? Did he say 5?
Same thing. He said 6 and 4 as well.
Okay.
I really thought they were going to.
I think
you can't accuse me of always being negative.
I think it's a 3 and 7 at best. I think it's likely a 2 and 8 trip. I think Colorado gets off. I think Colorado beats them twice. I think Colorado beats them tomorrow because who's the pitching tomorrow? I mean, it doesn't even matter for Colorado. Let me take a quick peek at the pitching matchups tomorrow. Tuesday, it's Kyle Harrison against Dakota Hudson. Hudson's 0 and 5, but probably everybody else is 0 and 5 on the Padres. 0 and 5, 5.93 ERA. On Wednesday, it's Jordan Hicks against Peter Lambert. Lambert's 2 and 1 with a 5.66 ERA. And Thursday, getaway day, is Keaton Wynn against Cal Quantrill, who is 1 and 3 with a 4.3. So they're facing 3 righties. Why do I think the Padre or the Rockies win tomorrow night? Because the Rockies had the day off today. They were in Pittsburgh yesterday. Did they get swept, or I think they won Friday in Pittsburgh and lost Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, they won 3-2 on Friday. They lost Saturday, Sunday. They're coming home. They had the day off. They slept in their beds tonight. Giants are traveling. Still
They
in.
probably haven't even landed. No, not even close.
No, it's 10:30. Yeah, they're probably not going to land until closer to midnight in Denver. They'll get into their hotel, after 1:00 today, and then they will, they'll get
These are going to be two bad teams slugging it out in Coors Field.
They'll get a decent night's sleep, but
Robert says Harrison will be a stop, and I don't see that, man.
Harrison,
wait till he finds out that the slider doesn't slide in Colorado.
Yeah, Harrison left early today, so he got a good night's sleep tonight.
That's good. That's smart.
But I think the Rockies have a shot at getting 2 or 3 in here.
We'll see.
Let's see. The Giants
I'm done with predictions, man.
Giants have lost 4 in a row. What did I say? The Giants would lose 6 in a row,
at the most. Yeah.
Okay. I think it could get tested this week.
Maitland Eagle with another $5 says everything is hinting that Farhan is on the hot seat this year, as it should be. Late off-season signings and the hesitancy to bring up the prospects. Good point there, Eagle. I like that.
It's a very good point. Farhan has to choose a lane, and he hasn't figured it out.
And that's something else that you've been talking about, Dan. You're trying to thread the needle between vets and young people, or your young guys, and it's not working.
Yeah, unfortunately, Robert says I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants sweep the Rockies and Reds. I don't see that. I don't see that at all. But stranger things have happened. I think the Giants.
This is what you get, Robert. My gosh.
Maybe trade Chapman and Snell to Texas. They need a third baseman. Is Young
Remember,
out?
He broke his hand. Yeah, he broke his hand.
I don't know if Texas would take that. They might.
You think? I don't know. Jung's coming back though.
Yeah. Forgot what my train of thought where I was going with this now.
When talking about you thinking that Colorado is going to take 2 or 3.
Yeah, we were talking about the young guys.
Yeah.
Farhan has been reluctant to bring up these young guys.
I know, Dan.
Let me finish. Let me just finish my
thought. Go ahead.
Yeah, Farhan's been reluctant to bring up these young guys because I think he's got pressure on him to make the playoffs, and I think he's been told you got to make the playoffs. But here's what I was going to say. Now it came back to me. This dang third wild card has messed up organizations into thinking
false hope.
Yeah, just get into the playoffs and anything can happen. Well, we saw it with Arizona last year, but they have young guys. So they've added, they have guys that they have developed and are, Corbin Carroll, Alec Thomas, a few other guys they've developed. They have those guys, and then they've supplemented with free agents. But with this 6th team making the playoffs, what that does is it makes people feel like you can hang in there and just get in instead of going for the rebuild. This is why I got to give credit to the guy at Miami. Even though I don't know much about him, but he's already said we're not likely to make the playoffs. He knows he's not a contender. So what's he going to do? He's going to rebuild it. What did Baltimore do? Rebuilt. What did Houston do years ago? Rebuilt. What did Atlanta had to do it earlier. They've rebuilt.
But
Some
they also
team,
drafted well too. I mean,
yes.
a lot of these were all
But
through the
why
draft.
is it the Giants cannot draft and develop anybody? Why?
Dan, and this begs the question, the whole reason why Farhan got hired was to do that very thing, right? To be able to get guys within your organization to contribute to the team, to rebuild the farm. That's what I kept hearing. Oh, this guy knows what he's doing. We got magical days ahead of us for the San Francisco Giants. And what has he done? And that's the most frustrating part. And Dan, here's another point. You're talking to what you're Dan or Farhan not understanding, to bring up the young guys. Does he? Is he? We've said this before. I mean, I think he truly is in over his head. I don't know.
Oh, he's way over his head. It's the Peter principle, what I told you the other night. He is completely over his head. He is never. Hey, look, that whole assistant GM thing in LA, that was just a title and a job.
He was an assistant.
He was the assistant, and he was not doing anything to run the operation. He wasn't responsible for running it at all. Okay.
Goodness gracious, Robert. Michael, thank you. It says for Farhan's unemployment fund. That's pretty good. I got it. Robert, you're conceding with our elite pitching. Robert, how many have they lost in a row?
Yeah.
You're talking about elite pitching. How many have they lost in a row? How many did they lose in Boston?
Yeah, let's not
come on, Robert.
Let's not overdo it with Robert as far as giving him too much credit here. I'll say this though, Robert, and I've said it over and over again. The Giants have the potential to do very well in the playoffs because of pitching, but they're not going to get to the playoffs with this lineup. They're just not. They've got to add some bats.
Yes, they do. And Robert, why do you keep bringing up Cobb and Ray? Cobb is still hurt. Ray is still recovering. Snell wasn't ready.
You might not even see. Come on, man. You know what, guys?
Come on.
Just think of this. You might not see Robbie Ray this year.
You may not. That's
Walker Buehler took 20 months. He's pitching tonight, right now as we speak.
Ooh,
in fact, let's see. I'm going to pull it up right here. I'm going to look up his. Dots. I got it right here. MLB scores. Walker Buehler. We got it right here. The Gamecast. There we go. Press. Share screen. What do we got? 6-3 into 5. Let's see the box score here. Let me go back and check out Buehler. Okay, Buehler has gone 4 innings. He threw 77 pitches. Wow, imagine that in his first start in 20 months. I know he pitched in the minors, but they let him go 77 pitches.
Wow.
He gave up 3 earned runs, 4 Ks. Doesn't sound like 6 hits in 4 innings. Not a great outing, but, you're playing the Marlins. You're going to win.
Guess who hit another home run tonight?
Ohtani.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got 11 now.
Yep. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the dots.
Yeah. You watch the dots.
But going back to the pitching, yeah, I understand the pitching. You got Webb, you got possibly Snell. We don't know what Snell's going to be like right now. No one can say what Snell's going to be like, right? We got a good a possible understanding, but the way he's come out so far, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Webb, it's been a little bit weird. He's had a couple of times where he's gotten blown out. I mean, I think 3 times so far. Hicks and Wynn have been bright spots, But are they starting to get to an area where they're beginning to get fatigued a little bit? I don't know. All we can see is just see how it plays out. But it's tough right now. It's tough. And if they don't make some changes quick, it's going to get worse.
So Tuesday.
But again, you can't. Robert, please don't hang your hat on Cobb. The guy's been delayed. He's coming off surgery. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get out of Cobb.
We are going to see Walker Buehler in San Francisco next week.
Yeah, figures. Corey Dixon, how long is Snell going to be out for? Well, you said 2 starts, right?
That's my guess. I think he's going to get 2 starts
tomorrow?
in the minors.
You think tomorrow? You think he throws tomorrow? Because I think
that's
what you said, right?
I haven't heard. I said it'll either be no. I said it would have been today, or it'll be.
Well, today was a day off for the club, for whatever club it was.
Oh, I thought they were in Salt Lake tonight.
Yeah, no, it's off. Yeah, it's to be tomorrow.
Okay, I would think it's going to be in the next. If he's not pitching sometime in the next day or two, that it's probably going to be another 5 or 6 days. So they'll match him up in the rotation most likely.
Gotcha. And you think there's going to be 2 rehab starts, right?
That's what I would guess. I think he's going to have to work out his command, and he's got to, I don't know. They may get desperate enough to throw him in here after 1 start.
That makes me wonder. And here's the thing: the latest news I've only heard from him ever since he went on the IL, he had a good bullpen. That's the only thing I've heard. I've heard nothing else coming out of what's going on with Blake Snell.
Yeah.
Has anyone else out there in the chat? Have you guys heard any status on what's going on with Snell other than he had a bullpen about a week ago? Because I haven't heard anything else. Michael, what's up, man? Thanks for the $5. Appreciate that. Bailey is the key to our pitching staff. They do better with him catching. I cannot disagree with that.
Yeah,
you are correct. And here's a good point too. Papa brought this up earlier. I was listening in the car when I was on the way to the VA. After Bailey had his concussion last year, his play kind of tailed off, both in receiving and batting. I hope it's not the same with this concussion. I hope it's not. So we have to keep an eye on that to see how Bailey. We don't even know. Bailey may go longer than 7 days, right? Because with a concussion, it can go past 7 days, right?
Oh, there's no magical thing on a concussion. It could be months.
But he could stay on the quote unquote 7-day DL for however long. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, Robert says he's going to throw hitters tomorrow. Throw to hitters tomorrow.
Yeah, I figured it was in the next day. So they're gonna do that whole simulation thing again.
So he's throwing to live hitters. So it's not even game day stuff yet. So we're at least 2 to 3 weeks away, right?
Unless they say he's fit enough after tomorrow, they throw him in there in 5 days.
Okay.
They got the Dodgers coming up next week. They may try and put him in there. Who knows?
Man.
They're desperate. Yeah, C. Davis, me too, man. Concussions are awful. I've had 4 or 5 myself, and each one progressively seems to get worse. Thoughts on Mason Black? Thank you for bringing that up, Mike. I thought Mason Black pitched with composure. I thought he looked confident, especially the first time through the order. He went right at the guys. He wasn't dilly-dallying around with Bryce Harper, as we saw yesterday with who pitched yesterday?
It was
gosh, I can't even remember now.
Holy crap.
Boring. They're so boring. Who was their pitcher?
How come I cannot remember? He only lasted, what was Webb?
On national TV, Webb pitched yesterday?
Was it Webb or was it Webb the day before? Who was it? Who pitched yesterday? Yeah, it was Webb. That's what I thought. Yeah, it was Webb.
That's right. It was Webb.
Yeah, he was Webb.
Yeah, Webb wasn't even going after Harper.
No. He was staying away from him.
I like that Mason Black just had, he just went after guys. And if you saw my tweet today, I said, I think he looked good, but the real test is going to be his second time through the order. I wasn't sure if he'd get a third time, but they started
They had
to get
to because the bullpen's
they
trash.
started to get to him in the little bit the second time around, and then the third time they definitely got to him. But he really only had the one bad inning. He gave up 4 runs in that one inning on 5 hits and a couple of walks. That was his
3-run shot, man. That was brutal.
That was his downfall. Otherwise, he did okay. Now, he pitched to the level I thought he might pitch today. I thought they'd get to him for 4 or 5 runs. I thought they might even get to him for a few more.
Yep.
But they did get to him. And the Phillies are just a good, solid hitting team. And the Giants don't have – I mean, name one player on the Giants that would start on the Phillies. Go ahead, chat. I'll wait for your responses. I'm waiting. Give me one player on the Giants lineup that would start in the Phillies lineup. Nobody yet? JHL. That's maybe the only possibility. That's the one I was maybe thinking of. Conforto over Castellanos? I'm not so sure about that because Castellanos is starting to get heated up, and I think he's long term. I think he's a better player long term than Conforto. I might give you Jung-Hoo Lee. I mean, who's the Phillies everyday center fielder? Rojas? Yeah, I'd probably take Lee. That's about it, guys. That is about it. I really like Jung-Hoo Lee. And what is Jung-Hoo Lee? No, I'm not including pitchers, Robert. Just everyday players. Just guys, positions 2 through 9, and a DH. That's interesting. So Jung-Hoo Lee would be it.
For what?
You're not part of the show. You left our show.
Fair enough.
He left our show for the second time, everybody.
Hey, I had to go get some coffee, man. I had to get some coffee.
Got to get something to give you a little jolt in life. The Giants certain don't know. No, I said name one player on the Giants who would start on the Phillies. Just one.
Lee.
Probably be Lee because they don't have a great center
fielder.
No, we're talking just 2
Position.
through 9 position. Okay. Yeah.
Wade. I mean, he doesn't have power, but man, he gets on base.
What are you going to put him over Harper?
Oh no. DH.
You're going to put him over Schwarber?
Never mind.
No.
Left field, right field. Yeah, no, Castellanos and Marsh are pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is and you can do this with the Dodgers. You could do it with a few other teams. I bet you if you did the Cardinals, you wouldn't take too many Giants players. You're not going to take Arenado. You're not going to take Mason Wynn, Goldschmidt. I don't know who their second baseman is. Is it Donovan or?
I think it's Donovan. Yeah, that's the guy I got on my team.
Yeah, and then their outfield, it's so-so. But Giants just don't have it, guys. They don't have the players.
What's his name? Well, who was that guy that was on with 95.7 that me and you were listening to? The ESPN guy.
Oh, Tim Kirkchin?
Yeah.
Kirkchin. I don't know. Kirkchin, I don't know how
he even said some of the things he said was a little bit weird, but he said that this is not going to be a very good hitting team, and it's going to be the pitching that keeps them in this.
Well, yeah. I mean, and Farhan didn't know that, and they keep saying, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Everybody who knows baseball should know that this was not going to be a good hitting team, and yet Farhan built it and thought it was. And he said the other day, we heard it, we listened to it the other night, or read it, that the lefties are hitting, but the right-handed guys haven't got going yet, and we believe they will. I don't believe Chapman gets going. I really don't.
And talking about baseball, you try to talk to some of these fans about this, and it's like they don't even acknowledge the question. All they do is try to come after you personally for no reason whatsoever. And it's like, come on, fans. San Francisco Giants fans, do better, right? I'm not talking to all of you, but there's a select few.
You are now 6 games under 500.
6 games under 500. Come on, stare in the mirror. There's something wrong, guys. You got to be able to acknowledge that.
15 and 21. You are in danger of being. I'll just look at this. I'll look and I'll tell you.
Paul.
I'll tell you where I think they end up after they finish their homestand in. They have a 9-game homestand coming up. Okay, they got 2 in Colorado. They're 15 and 21, and then they go to Colorado. I think they're going to be 16.
Exactly, Necron. Remember the talk in the offseason? Giants spent so much money. There's no way they can be bad. No way. Haven't you seen? Look how much money they're spending. Are you an idiot? That's what you heard. Are you an idiot? Look how much money they spent.
I think they're going to be. I think after the homestand is over.
Yeah, go for it.
I think they're going to be 20 and 28.
Think it'll be 8 games out, huh?
8 games under 500 after they finished 6 with Colorado, 3 with Cincy, and 3 with LA.
And what's the date? May 20th, somewhere around there?
May 19th is the last day. Yeah, so the 20th.
So you're talking about being under 500 probably at the
through
end
May. Yeah. Oh, through the end of May. I'll tell you where they're going to be at the end of May.
Because we're in the month of May, so let's see if we can figure out what they'll be.
20 and 28. I think they're going to be.
Thank you, Dominic. Yes, that Nationals comparison was garbage. Thank you, Dominic.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to that. I was like, do you realize that the Nationals didn't spend almost $300 million in the offseason to try to be better? They were using their youth in 2019, right?
Well, they had Soto as a young.
Soto. They had Harper.
No, they didn't have Harper.
Didn't they have Harper in 2019?
Nope. Harper was first year.
Was it already? Okay, maybe it wasn't. Yep. But
they had Anthony Rendon that had a great year.
Yeah, that's right.
They had
Scherzer,
and then they had
Patrick Corbin.
Corbin was doing well. They had
but yeah, that comparison didn't make no sense because the Giants this year spent a crap ton of money to try to be good. The Nationals didn't do that in 2019. Yeah. Thank you, Dominic. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was yelling at the radio. Trey Turner. That's right. They had Trey Turner. Strasburg when he was somewhat decent. Yeah. A lot of that was homegrown. Suzuki. I forgot about Suzuki. He was homegrown, but
Giants are going to be 24 and 34 at the end of May.
You think they're going to be 10 games under 500 by the end of May?
Look at the schedule.
Yeah, it's tough. I know, right?
They got after they got 6 with Colorado's, they should win. Probably though. I think they're going to get at least 3. They might get 4 or 6. I think they lose 2 or 3 to Cincy. I think they get swept by LA. And then I think they go to Pittsburgh and lose 2 or 3. I think they lose 2 or 3 in New York. They come home to the Phillies. I think they lose 2 or 3 to the Phillies at home. And then I think they beat the Mets on Friday night to end the month of May. And they're 10 under.
So you're saying they're not winning any other series the rest of the damn of the month?
No, I said they get Colorado. They'll get one. They'll get one of the Colorado, maybe both. but I think I'm going to pick Colorado 2 or 3 in Colorado. Colorado's horrible. They're 8 and what's their record? Like 8 and 26.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad.
Just
below the Giants.
Okay. All right. Their record, the Rockies' record right now is 8 and 26. They're not going to lose. Even the A's, who stunk last year, won like 6 or 7 in a row at one point.
Yep.
The Rockies are going to put together
They'll put together a streak. Yeah.
A good series here and there. And I think that they're catching the Giants at a bad time.
No,
I think the Giants.
I don't know if they're going to lose the series in Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's been pretty bad. I mean, it's possible.
Pittsburgh just won its third straight tonight.
You know what, though? It makes me wonder when they're going to bring up Paul Skeens. I wonder if the Giants will see Skeens.
Just bring him up for the Giants. You get a no-hitter. I'll be right back.
Exactly. Go for it. Hey, Kill, I'll bring up that comment when Dan gets back. Something about the Phillies at home again. You think so, Alive, huh? Yeah, maybe. Los, what's up? I'm wearing Cubs gear in Chicago. Oh, man. You're not going to go over there representing the San Francisco? Come on, man. Dan made that terrible prediction and made it make sense. Amazing how bad the Giants are right now. What's up, Fosse? Gonzo says they continue to lose and hit like this. An all-star break, Farhan has got to get fired. Maybe. Hey, Dan, look at this great. I brought this up before you left. Kill coming. Oh, banana chips. Banana chips. Those are good, man. Those are really good. Listen to what he said. The Nationals won a World Series, tore it down, and already rebuilt since Farhan was fired.
Yep.
That's crazy. And they have a good young team.
What did I say in the beginning of the year that they will battle the Giants for a better record?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, those banana chips are fantastic.
Because they got Mike Rizzo. He knows what he's doing.
And the haul they got back for Soto, man, that's really going to help them.
Oh yeah, they don't even have James Wood and
nope,
and Dylan.
And Dylan's not up yet, right?
Yeah.
Don't they have a pitcher or two too that's ready to come up?
Oh yeah. I like the Nationals. I said the Nationals will win a World Series before the Giants.
Yes, Robert is only predicting. That's all it is. That's all we're doing. We're just predicting. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Just predicting. But it's been pretty it's been pretty accurate for some of them. For some of them. Ah, goodness. There you go. You got you got a warning here from Brother Love. Oh my God, it's Brother Love. Look at that. I can't believe it. He's got it in there. I love.
Oh, they can, huh? I better stop.
Yes. They will give you the Hershey squirts, Dan.
They will?
Yes.
Is that true? I'm going to stop then. Hey, speaking of the Hershey squirts, did you see the Speaking of the Hershey squirts, did you guys see the Giants coffee maker in their clubhouse?
I saw that on your. Hold on, I'll bring it up.
You pull that up?
It's on your Twitter.
I saw the Giants coffee maker, and it made sense exactly why this team is completely struggling. It's a good thing the Giants are wearing black undershorts because it fits their colors. But
man,
yeah, look, this is the Giants. Can you blow that up a little bit?
Yeah, let's get a little bit bigger.
And there's a cup of coffee for the Giants. Look.
Na, will jemand Kaffee?
It's brewing. There you go.
Speaking of the Hershey Squirts, the Giants coffee in the clubhouse.
Brother, man. Robert, I have a valid question. Shoot, go for it, Robert. He has a valid question.
Colorado split with the Padres in the series.
Oh my God. Robert. The playoffs, just take that out of your mind right now. For now, just take it out. Let's just bring up the young guys and see what they can do. If you make the playoffs, if they don't, you're just going to see what they got. Come on. Come on, Robert.
Is it
don't
possible?
even worry about the playoffs right now.
Is it possible to make?
Anything's possible.
Period.
Yes.
Hey,
anything is possible. But let's be realistic, Robert.
They're stuck. They're stuck with Chapman, guys.
And you know what? He's going to be here next year.
Why wouldn't he be?
Exactly. Ooh. Wow. You're crossing some type of a red line here, turd. That is like a certain red line. He goes, lifelong San Francisco Giants fan. Yesterday, I bought my 8-year-old the Ohtani jersey that he wanted. Didn't even question doing it.
No, I would buy if I had a son that loved Ohtani.
Oh yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
Heck yeah, he loves the game of baseball. He loves Ohtani. Who
The
cares?
guy's great for the game. He's great for the game.
Who cares if he's with the Dodgers, man? Ohtani's awesome. I mean, hey, Giants don't deserve to. Did you hear what Willard said about the Giants? He says, "You want me to go and buy a ticket and come into Giants with 55% of the being Dodger fans, and I get yelled at and watch our team get swept?"
Oh, you said that, huh?
Yeah.
See, I didn't hear that part. I think I tuned in a little bit too late.
I mean, this guys, we all see it. The baseball fans can see it. This team is brutal.
You think those Mickey Mouse ears is going to play off like they want to?
Is that next week?
Yeah, I think it is.
No,
Isn't it? Isn't it those Mickey Mouse ears? Remember? Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's a great dig!" Ha 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 ha! No way, man! It's gonna backfire. That's what it's gonna do. Golly, man! All the Dodger fans are gonna be wearing those ears as they freaking destroy the Giants. Okay, let's do this prediction. Well, let's wait till the Dodger series. Yeah, Nick.
Roku said he'd beat his kid if they wanted a Yazzer Slater.
I can't blame you, Michael. Yes, I'm not buying tickets or gear until Farhan is gone.
That's what everybody needs to do.
I should have held up on that damn. I should have held up on, but I like that Memorial Day hat. That's really nice.
Giants, wake up, fans, and stop supporting this team because you got to get rid of Farhan. Man, if the Giants fans would stop drinking the Kool-Aid and, you know, you know what you guys love? You love that. You love the symbol. You love your team. But to love this team is to...
You got some baggage with it.
To love this team is not true love. It's blind love.
I see what you're saying.
You see, because true love wants change. Do you want a spouse? If you got a spouse with a drinking problem, are you going to be are you going to get a little tired of that and want change? Or are you just going to say, everything's great? Oh, just drunk all the time, but I love her. Just a lush and just not even coherent with what's going on. But you know what?
Interesting. Yeah.
I love her and she's the best. And I don't even care if she ever changes. No, you're going to seek help because you love her. Okay. You're going to go get her help. You're going to get her into rehab and you're going to get her well. And then all of a sudden she's going to be a new person and she's going to be alive. Why do you love the Giants when they are so bad that they're going the wrong direction? PJ, she sounds fun.
Michael says it's been a fan since 1960. This team is nowhere near the worst team. No, it hasn't. Could you imagine if YouTube was around during the 1985 season? Wow. But they changed it in 1 year, right? Didn't they have change? Wasn't there change?
Hum baby. Roger
How
Craig.
about that? There was change. But do the Giants change? Or are we still going with the same old routine?
So the problem is yes, the players have to perform, and the players are part of the problem. But you have to look at the architect. Who is putting this thing together? Think about this, guys. He was brought in to reshape the farm system. Yeah, Los, you're exactly right. Come on in, Los.
Yeah, come on.
86.
You already sent it to him?
Go ahead and send it
I'll
to him.
send it to him.
Yeah. The 86 club went with the young guys. Will Clark,
But that was after
Robbie
they
Thompson.
failed in, but they saw that there was a problem and they fixed it, right?
Well, yeah, they drafted Will Clark and Robbie Thompson.
There you go.
I mean, but they also made some other moves, but they played the young guys. And it was only 1 year before they won the division in 87. If Farhan isn't fired by the All-Star break, I will throw his ass out myself.
Thanks for the $5 there.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. The farm system, we don't know what it has. It has the potential that has 4 or 5 guys that maybe could come out. You know, we don't know if Ramos and Matos will make it or not.
We don't.
And we don't know if Casey Schmidt will make it.
We don't know.
We don't know if their pitchers will make it. But you're going to have to play. You know, the other thing with the farm system, if they're not cutting it, you better go find a farm system that is developing guys and go hire the guy away. There's no salary cap for a director of farm. Go snag some top farm system guys.
But you
and
know
pay
what?
them.
Dan, it starts from the top, though.
Well,
Farhan doesn't believe in that. That's the problem. You got to get rid of Farhan, and then that baseball guy that you hire has to go and start poaching people, right?
Farhan is
with
not.
Farhan at the top,
Farhan thinks he
it.
knows everything. Farhan thinks he's stubborn enough to think he can pull this off himself and run this ship himself. And that's why he's hanging on to his guys, because he thinks he can outsmart everybody.
Yep.
And he wants to prove that his way's the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we bring in Los D all the way from.
What's up, Los?
Hey, he's got his. Hey, I got that hat.
Dan used to wear this hat all the time, every day, and then he just got away from it.
Yeah, I got new. Well, it's summer's coming now, so I got the air, but I've got new hats, man. I am thinking I might need a new hat. I do not own a purple hat in my wardrobe.
I have a purple Kangol if you'd like to borrow from time to time. You still owe me those 3 hats that you have.
Yeah, 2.
You got to trade
2,
them
3. I'm
the
thinking the
Rome hat.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe a purple. Is there anybody that has a hat purple, maybe with a CR on it or anything like that, or
with the C Colorado Rockies? The only I got one purple hat, but it's nothing.
I might have to order a Rockies hat tonight.
Oh,
because I think I might be sporting the winning hat tomorrow night.
Why don't you buy a little plushie of Dingo the dinosaur, or Dinger the dinosaur?
Who's Dinger? Their mascot.
Their mascot.
Dinger. Jeez. Oh, that's right. Dinger.
If I talk a little slow tonight, I'm kind of still recovering from last night and yesterday. War was great, by the way.
Nice.
Oh,
very nice
Good
concert.
deal.
Did they sing low, right?
Yep.
I bet that's what they finished it with, right?
They finished with Risco Kid
was a friend of mine.
Yeah,
he drank whiskey. Wasn't that isn't it? Risco Kid was a friend of mine. Yeah. Yeah.
This
Low,
musical interlude brought to you by Secure Money.
low, right.
623-825-3900.
Hold on.
You need a loan, Flex Funding, 925
Low.
250
Right.
4894.
Get a little higher. Take a little trip. Take a little trip.
Oh, brother.
Take a little trip with me. Yeah.
Yep.
The Giants veterans that's continued to play, sponsored by War, who are in their 70s, still singing.
Oh, man. Are they all the original members, or they been replaced?
I saw one new guy, yeah, but most of them, yeah, still around. Yep, the bodies change, but the voices still do pretty good if you can hold those notes. It was good. It was good. I like what little I saw. Black, I think he's going to be all right, but
he'll be fine. He just has to get stretched out as a starter.
He's gonna be up here for 3 starts, and then somebody will.
Then he'll be back down.
Then Cobb will come back up, and see you later, Black. No matter how good he does.
Oh, come on, Gonzo! You don't like my singing? My sing. Yeah, I know I can't carry a tune, but I still love the oldies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 60s, 70s, classic rock, man.
Yes, we need Glenn in here to.
Where's Glenn?
Come on, Glenn. Where are you? I think he's
back. I think he said he's back in town somewhere. I think he's back in. He's back in Winnipeg. I think that's what he said.
He was in Boston for Game 7 with the Maple Leafs and the Bruins the other night. I know that.
You have a fan, Dan.
Oh, wonderful.
Why do you guys think it was so long for 95.7 KNBR, most Giants fans?
I think it just took
to kind of see what we saw. I mean,
some people just take longer to see it.
Were they using their eyes and just kind of just saw the players for who they were? Did they just have false belief? They wanted to believe it, but
they're putting their hope in guys past.
That's what it
years.
was. Yes.
And they thought everybody thought Chapman would add all this element offensively. If you watch Los, you've seen his swing. His swing path, he only hits in one path. And so what I was sharing earlier, I don't know if you were listening at that point, but the only time Chapman's going to hit the ball hard is when a pitcher makes a mistake and throws it into his path. Because if you do not put the ball in his path, he can't hit it.
He's definitely a mistake hitter, as are too many players nowadays, that when a pitcher makes their pitch, the good and the great hitters, they adjust and they hit it to where it's pitched. The average to below average hitters will get themselves out, and pitchers know that. And that's what Chapman and Soler are right now at this point. They get themselves out. They're swinging right through fastballs, and they're not touching the breaking balls at all.
Hey, Los, I don't know if you're in here earlier. I mentioned this to Dan right off the rip.
Yeah.
What is the common denominator between Chapman and Soler in this lineup? What have they had in the past before they came to the Giants?
They had good hitters hitting in front of them and behind them.
Exactly. Both players had guys that hit behind them. They had protection in the lineup in whatever team they were with. Now you're here on the Giants. Those two guys who need protection can't protect themselves, or they can't protect each other. So you're in a spot now of where it's even more exasperated now, because now you got no protection to help them. So they're going to fail even worse. I mean, even if they had protection in the lineup, they're still going to be who they are, right? 240 hitters.
Yeah, those guys have the spotlight on them now in this lineup, and they're not spotlight guys. Like when Chapman was with Toronto, he had Guerrero around him. He had Bichette around him.
Bichette?
So he had good hitters in front and behind him.
Springer.
Yep. So
and then you had Soler, you had Atlanta, you had the Cubs, you had
Is that why he let him? Is that why, Nick, he let him go? Because
hold on, let's read this.
Vaccine? Oh my goodness.
Nick, thank you for the $10, buddy. Farhan let Bannister go in the offseason, who was the only guy doing his job in development with arms, because he didn't take the vaccine. But, well, we don't know. Is that true? I mean, I don't want to just say something if it's not true. I mean, just saying. I know Bannister had. I think he didn't. Wasn't he working like remotely or something like that? Maybe that's why. Now the arms are shakier in the minors. No hitting development.
They got to go poach. They got to get rid of Farhan
First.
The who's ever running the operation. Maybe
Baggerly reported it. Okay, thanks, Nick.
Here's the thing I was thinking the other night. I know they're still developing Mission Rock, and that's going to take a while. But they kind of finished that park, and they got the statue of McCovey out there, and they kind of got all that. They played it on the air. Maybe now that they have some more of the stuff that's related to the ballpark finished, maybe they are going to set their minds on the thing with Farhan, because the whole idea that this message got played with the flagship station asking Mad Dog that question. I think there's some movement within a couple of people within the organization saying, we got to start focusing on this baseball team because we have zero excitement. We're having to give, just to get the place partially full, we're having to sell tickets for $5. We're having to do 4 for $29, 4 for 4. You get 4 tickets for $29 plus 4 hot dogs and 4 drinks. So a family can come in and have a small meal and watch a game for $30. Now, come on. If that's what is happening, these guys might be bringing in the crowds averaging 31,000. But at what revenue point are they bringing in if they're having to give the tickets away?
Good. We have leaks within the organization and an inner conspiracy amongst the Joint Chiefs of Staffs to get rid of the Commander-in-Chief. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, something has to happen. I don't see how this whole thing ends in a way other than a mess. And you know what they got to be thinking to themselves? They have to be thinking, why didn't we just do this last year in September? Why didn't we just clean house and start all over? They had the perfect opportunity.
Yep.
That is called, let me look the owners in the eyes, stupidity at its highest. You guys are clueless how to run a freaking baseball club. Why in the heck would you not fire Farhan when you were firing Kapler? Let a new Pobo bring in his own manager and start fresh. Now, this is going to get really, really ugly. You got all negative information, all kinds of negative publicity coming right at you, and it's well-deserved because Larry Bear, you have your head up, you know what.
Wait till the Dodgers come to town next week, and that stadium is 75% blue.
Yeah.
Real good. Michael Router, another $2 says small ball, damn it. Yeah, it could be. Hey, let's go down memory lane here. Remember this, guys? For those of you in the chat, maybe some of you guys might remember this, maybe not. Let's talk about it. This goes right along with what Dan was saying.
Yeah.
Giants let go nearly half of pro scouts as internal shuffling begins. Look when this was written. Right after who got fired, or who, I shouldn't say fired, who got hired. Yeah, that guy. That guy. For months, people throughout the Giants organization have expected sweeping changes once the final game is played. The first wave came a bit early. On Tuesday, the Giants let go 8 members of their pro scouting staff while informing 12 others that they will be kept on. President of Baseball Operations, Farhan Zaidi, said. Brian Johnson, who hit a memorable homer in 1997 and later proved crucial with advanced work during the World Series runs, was among those let go. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the others are Steve Balboni, Darren Whitkey, Matt Neerland, Tim Rock, Glenn Tufts, Bob Moreno, and Andy Skeels, who managed members of the current core.
Steve Balboni, former first baseman with the Royals.
It's a good
Also-
group of people that have made contributions to this organization over, and in some cases, long periods of time, and have been part of some big moments in Giants history on the field. It's obviously sad in that respect, but obviously we're really appreciative of their contributions over time, and we wish those guys the
Oh,
best.
that's crap.
That's the hey, thank you for your hard work and dedication. That's that one of those type of things.
Yeah. That's wanting your own people and your own computers
Here we go.
to
Oh,
do
yeah.
this work.
Do you know the Giants, when they signed Jung-Hoo Lee, they had to use they used to have a big interview room, and they had to use part of the clubhouse because Farhan took over the entire room and made it into an analytics. And then he's all upset this offseason because these people have families and they gave up hard, good paying jobs to come here to do something that they believe in. How's that working for you, Farhan?
There it is. Look, the Giants have already beefed up their video and analytics staff, and much of the traditional advanced scouting work can now be done by watching clips rather than having a scout in stadium.
How's that working for you, Farhan?
They now have 2 members of the front office traveling with the team and giving data to coaches and players before every game. Those must be the scientists.
How's that working? How's that working for you, Farhan?
Exactly. Said that it's becoming more and more important to dedicate scouting resources to the lower levels of the minor leagues, all the way down to the Dominican Summer League and rookie ball.
You got to have the guys out there that see these kids play. And you know what the Giants should be doing? They should be going out and taking some of their older ball players, that guys like Pablo, guys like Santiago Casillas, and give me some other Latin guys from Latin America. The Marvin Bernard, right? Wasn't he from? Where was he from?
You mean past Giants?
Yeah. Marvin Bernard. I'm trying to think of some other guys.
Torres, Blanco.
You mean homegrown talent or just on the roster?
Just guys that played for the Giants that were part of the big
Pagan.
Pagan. Guys that won World Series or you're with them in that era. Get those guys that are retired.
Santiago Casillas.
This is why you need.
Sergio
This
Romo.
is why I'm gonna, Joaquin Arias. You're going to need. This is why. See, Farhan has nothing to do with the Giants' past. Nothing. So he doesn't have anything to do with the history. All he does is he has this new stuff that's failed. Get those guys and get them down there working in their home countries, working with the scouts that are already there, and start recruiting these young guys, because all is that is the international signings is you don't have to draft them. It's all about who you can persuade. And so get those guys to get in there with the scouts and saying, hey, there's nothing like being a Giant. You know, you wear this hat, you're wearing the
History of the organization.
You're wearing the team with the most wins in the history of baseball. Now
What scouts though? Who's left?
Well, I mean, they have what happens in these international signings is these kids, there are guys in there that work with these players and they represent these players, and they're the ones that help negotiate the deals for these players. You've got to get these guys involved. And if you get major league players in there as well, starting to work with these guys, and the Giants, Hiroku's right. They gave up $1 million in international money for Chapman.
That's right. So and guess what? This upcoming draft, the 2nd and 3rd round picks are gone because you had to forfeit those as well.
Right.
So you get the 1st round pick, and then you got to wait till the 4th round to make your next pick.
There's Glenn.
What's up, Glenn?
Hey, man, I need you to come in here and sing. They made fun of my singing. I sang Lowrider because Lowe's here went to the War concert last night, so they didn't like my version of Lowrider.
But it's just it's pathetic that, you know, how do you what won you the 3 world championships? The way that they did their business, right?
Homegrown talent.
What has Farhan won with his quote unquote philosophy?
Think about this.
He won a division title.
think about this. Most
In 5
and,
years.
and a lot of that was with older Giants still left.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, he brought in Solano, and he had Wade, and he had
Yes.
Gosman, and he had Yaz, and he brought in. But think about who was playing third, Longoria. Who was playing short, Crawford. Who was playing
First.
second? Estrada was playing second, I guess, and Solano, right? So
Belt
those were
at
his.
first, Coachy behind.
Belt at first. Who was the pitching? Gosman, but it was Webb. He brought in Wood and DeScofani.
Mhm.
Catcher was Buster. The nucleus of that team was
Crawford, Belt, and Posey.
Homegrown.
and Longoria.
Yeah, I'm talking like.
But at
Giants.
that point, I'm just talking about the 21. But still,
Yeah.
my point is, he didn't bring in those guys.
No.
He didn't bring in most of those guys. So the nucleus of that team was the 4 or 5 strong veterans that kept that team going. Without those guys, nothing happened.
Nothing happens.
So here's
I'm still waiting for Posey to.
I don't.
If he gets interviewed, like it's going to be very generic, very company-based answers. He
It's
will
going
not
to be because
he
he's
is
an
not-
owner.
Yeah, do not expect Posey to come out and be outspoken against management or against this philosophy at all, because he's part of them now. He's not going to say what is truly on his mind. So if you see an interview and you get all excited, don't be.
whoa.
It's not
Whoa.
whatever.
Oh my goodness. The T-Wolves put a spanking on the Nuggets tonight.
T-Wolves are for real.
106-80 in Denver. They're up 2-0. Oh my goodness.
Anthony Edwards is, Lord have mercy. Did I want him
Yes.
on the Warriors? God.
Yeah, and the T-Wolves wanted to trade that first pick to the Warriors.
God.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
he's
goodness.
shining. And they got hype. They got hype to bother Joker. You know,
I did watch they do, and you know what? Gobert didn't even play tonight. His wife was having a baby, so they beat him without. That's impressive.
Destro, man, I used to love watching freaking GI Joe, man. GI Joe was the best, man. Yo, Joe. Anyways, he goes, owner Charles Johnson is getting his cake and eating it too. He hired Farhan to do his bidding by saving money where he can, cutting fan faves, and taking most of the heat to boot. There could be something to that.
Yeah,
there could be something to that.
Yeah, but did he really save him money this year? He dropped a lot of money on free agents that the young guys could be doing the same thing.
Did they go over the cap this year?
What's that?
Did they go over the cap this year, Dan? I can't remember.
Who's that? The Giants?
The Giants.
Yep.
They did go over the cap for this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you
But
add up,
but they're not going to pay the tax because they'll be underwritten by next year. Right?
If you add up what Snell, Soler, and Chapman are making per year, that's not saving ownership money. Snell will be the one guy that'll eventually come around, I think.
Hey, Los, remember all that chatter when we were saying the Giants, but everyone, but they spent the most money behind the Dodgers. They got to be good because they spent so much money. They got to be good.
$100,000 on Toyota Corollas. Apologies to Toyota Corolla owners.
It's
you
just
spend money, but you're not spending it wisely. You bought some stock that basically tanked instead of going with secure money. What's wrong with you?
There you go. There you go. Hey, I watched a couple games tonight. Padres Cubs was an interesting. Cubs, man, they put up 6 in 1 inning. I mean the Padres.
But real quick, Dodgers won 6-3.
Yep. Dodgers won 6-3. Guardians won again, beat the Tigers 2-1. Rays beat the Sox. The White Sox are horrible. Royals won again, beat the Brewers 3-2. I mentioned Padres 6-3 over the Cubs. Twins win again, 3-1 over the Mariners. Mets win 4-3 over the Cards. Rangers beat the A's 4-2. But the A's 2 games under 500, not 6 under 500 like their highly spent crosstown.
I can't believe I did this, but I actually made a waiver move on fantasy for an Oakland A's player. Can you guess who it is? It's not Mike Miller, the pitcher, a hitter.
Not Mason Miller, you mean?
Mason Miller.
You went for Ross Stripling.
Are you out of your mind? I said no pitcher.
No pitcher.
No, what hitter did I go for, or did I pick up from the A's?
I know who you went. You got Rooker, didn't you?
I did.
I knew it. Yep.
I did.
I was debating whether to get him, but his average is trash.
Yeah, he's a first round. I didn't realize he was a first round pick.
I mean, if you need home runs, I guess that'll be good. But
I do need home runs.
But it's also going to affect your average, so beware of that.
Yeah. Is this the worst $200 million roster ever? This team looks like a 70-win team. How was this offseason even real? The dopes on KMBR thought Chapman was savior. Nick, another
$5, Nick. Damn.
We said it here, Nick. You know it. I put it out on Twitter back in January 6th. It was, and it wasn't that January 6th. It was January 6th of 24. I put this out and said, no on Chapman. He's not a good hitter. He's going to block Schmidt. And man, did all the people, Casey's horrible. Casey's horrible. Casey, for all you guys that think Casey's horrible, just because a guy struggles in his rookie season.
I know.
It just drives me crazy. Willie Mays, his first month of his rookie year was awful. But they didn't send him back down. Leo DeRocher believed in him and said, You're my guy. He ended up hitting 274.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't hit at all. He couldn't buy a hit the first 15, 12, 13 at bats, something like that. And then, he finally got a hit, but he just really still struggled for a while. But
hey, Rules, Vince will come on probably maybe sometime during this next series. We'll see.
That is one of the stupidest comments I see in social media that I always blast is he did this last year as a rookie.
Yeah.
So they say this is where I tell you, if you're a hypocrite against me, I'm gonna rip you apart if you're a hypocrite. So they say, they hit like this last year as a rookie. But if you're a veteran and you've hit like crap the last 3 years, then it's okay.
That's okay because they got history.
You see where I'm getting? Because in 2016 they hit well, in 2018 they hit well. Sorry, they've hit like crap the last 5 years, but 6 years ago they hit really well. So they have a resume from years past. But a rookie who is still figuring out how to adjust in the big leagues cannot make adjustments after 1 or 2 years.
Let me. We
have a long history besides Willie Mays and Matt Williams. We could spend a whole week of shows talking about guys that struggled in their first year or two and became all-stars. Some Hall of Famers.
Let me address this guy here. Slater, biggest fan. Schmidt will never be a savior ever. No one said he'd be a savior. Dude sucks at hitting. Can he improve? Would be great to see. You know what? Casey did make improvements last year. He was struggling. He started off hot.
Yep.
Then they figured out his holes, as happens to everybody. Figured out his holes. He couldn't hit anything. He was chasing horrible pitches, wasn't making any walks, sent him down, came back up. He figured out some things, started taking some walks, better pitch selection. And then he got sent down again, if I recall, didn't he? A second time?
I thought he was only sent down once.
I can't remember.
He was down for a while, though.
But he did close off the season, 2 home runs in the last game. That's carried over to this year in the AAA.
Even before that, he was driving the ball a lot better.
Yeah.
And he was taking walks.
Guys, he's not going to be the savior. He's not built that way. He's going to be as good as Chapman defensively, and I think he'd be better offensively.
Yeah, nobody here is saying that Casey's a 300 hitter or a 280 hitter. But I think what he would be better at Chapman is man at third, less than 2 outs. I think he puts the ball in play and strikes out less than Chapman.
Yes.
And I also think he's going to have as good, maybe even right now from what I've seen, a better glove. He's also going to steal you some bases. Chapman's not going to give you that. So I just gave you 3 categories where somebody that would make about $750K would be equal to or better than a guy that is a little bit past his prime.
Yep, I agree.
Casey just needs to hit like 250, 260. I would take 250, 260 and about 15 to 20 bombs from him. Oh my God. And that glove? Hell yeah. Take that all day. And try to get better. That's the thing that people just don't have any patience for, is just wait until guys get better. It happens sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't, but you needs to give them a shot.
Yeah, this has got to come to a boiling point at some point where the Giants front office, not the front office, but the ownership has to look at this and say, something's not working here. And they're hearing it from not just all around the Bay Area, they're hearing it in the national media. They're hearing it from Mad Dog. They heard it last year from what's his name?
Verducci.
Tom Verducci, who said, if this is the future of baseball, I want no part of it. This is boring. How boring are the Giants to watch? How many hits did they get today? 5, 6?
Yeah. How many did they get?
I don't even look. I know a couple guys got 2, and then a couple guys got 1, and I think that was about it. Let me look.
I would say, off the top of my head, if you see how many home runs the Giants have hit this year, I would say 70% of them are solo shots.
And they're yes.
You know, for the Giants to put up a crooked number in an
5
inning,
hits.
For the Giants to put up a crooked number in the hitting in an inning, they need 3 to 4 hits. And this is just not a high batting average team. So the only way you're scoring on this team is hitting home runs. So they don't steal. They don't hit and run. They don't bunt guys over. So the only way, this is not going to just go away. Yeah, they're going to have that one game where they explode. In Colorado, I swear, if some of you come in here after they put up 11 or 12 runs in Colorado, like, stop, man. Like pop flies go out of the ballpark in Colorado.
Yeah.
So
Colorado's not a good place to make your judgment.
No,
10 guys,
not at all.
10 different men came to the plate today. How many got hits? How many of those 10? 3. 3 guys. 2 of them got 4 of the 5 hits.
I know who it was. It was Lee and Wade, right?
Right. And Flores got the other hit. Listen to these batting averages, guys. Here, you guys will probably be able to name them. I won't go down the order. Just see if you can name them. I'll name them randomly. 226.
Flores.
Yep.
Yeah.
248.
Lee.
Nope.
He's right around there.
Estrada.
Yeah, Estrada. 219.
Chapman.
No.
Oh, Yaz.
Yes. 252.
I think that one might be Lee.
It is two guys.
Really? Who else would be 252?
Lee and
Fitzgerald?
No. Think about it. He was hitting. We went over averages the other night. He's right at his career average, basically.
Conforto.
Yep.
Conforto. I forgot about him.
209.
That's Chapman.
That's Chapman.
Wow, he's down at 209.
Yes. 3 strikeouts today.
That Mendoza line is getting close.
209. And then 347. He's having a really good year. Wade's hitting the ball.
He's hitting the ball and he's taking walks.
I'd probably make him I'd probably just make him the leadoff hitter at this point, just because he's got a higher on base than Lee, and then just let Lee hit second behind him and see if Lee can. Lee might be able to move more. I said last night, Los, I don't know if you were around, but I would try and go get Jazz Chisholm because he's 26 years old. He has something the Giants don't have, which is speed, and make him the leadoff hitter, and then put him at second base, and you can just move off of Estrada. You might be able to get something decent for Estrada.
I don't know, guys. I think if we start trading for veterans and they're kind of high price, I think we're going to be
forget trading to try to make this team better this year.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Chisholm's 26.
Yeah,
he's 26, and he's got speed.
Yeah,
and
I like the player. I just
trade for better prospects.
Better prospects.
At this point,
it just seems like this team cannot draft.
Well, we said this last year. Yeah. I almost put this tweet out again today, guys, but I pulled it back because I thought I've had over 1,000 responses on one tweet that I responded to, and I'm just getting bugged. I got to learn how to turn off my notifications. My phone has been lit up all day, just buzz. I just like, oh man, every time I look at my phone, there's somebody liking. Because all I did is say that, talking about something about basketball with Curry. And anyway, I started to put out another one and I pulled it back. I've said it on the show before, and I know you guys, this is almost borderline blasphemy to
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
Here comes the web.
This is a borderline blasphemous to Giants fans, but you better start thinking out of the box, because you can't get anybody to. I heard even Willard and Dibbs talking about it today. How come we can't get a corner outfielder? How come we've never had a corner outfielder we can develop? Well, you know what? Texas has two of them. They're called Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford. What can you give up that Texas needs? You could go out and give up. How about if you went out and gave Logan Webb, Camilo Duvall, because they don't have a closer. They need starting pitching that's young, that's signed. And also you'd probably have to give up more of the deal, because Carter.
Yes.
And so you might have to give up like a Bryce Eldridge, which I would probably do at this point. And you might have to give up maybe even a Ramos or a Matos, because now you got two corners. You got your bookend outfielders for 10 years. They're both 21 or 22 years old, guys, and they can mash the ball. Those are 300 hitters. And why would I do that? Because the Giants can develop pitching. Okay. Pitching is not their issue. It's not even their issue to go out and get free agent pitchers. They can get pitching. Pitchers want to come to Oracle because it makes them money. They have good stats and they can go into free agency. And so, yeah, Langford's on the IL. Yeah. It doesn't mean he's on the IL for 10 years.
I would like to see Ramos and Matos get the everyday job in left and right field for 2 months. And if they are not it, then you move. You do it in July. But if they are it, then
you don't need.
Then we don't need them. But let's see. Let's at least see. Let's see 2 months every day in the lineup, and let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can do.
See, the reason I love that idea, because that's why I put a tweet out today, said Ramos should be up tomorrow night and he should be in the lineup until July at minimum to see if he can do it, because they're not going to bring them both up. But I would. And that's why I said trade Yaz and move off of Slater, because you cannot bring up Ramos and platoon him with Yaz. That will be if they do that, I may personally just send a warhead over to right over to Third and King myself, man. I'll just
a warhead. What are you talking?
I'm gonna get Biden to push the button and blow up Farhan's office. Man, you cannot bring up Ramos.
Never forget.
You warned me it was coming, man.
Never forget that first time Dan heard that That is one for the archives. Oh my God,
Hey,
his reaction.
guess what my screensaver is every time that my phone rings from Dan.
Oh, what's that explosion? Oh, that one?
He's pulling that out.
Man.
Yeah, Dad's gonna show you what mine is.
Hey, and you know what? I don't know what Mason Black is going to become, but if he becomes a solid starter, they have an excess of starting pitching. They really do. With guys coming back, they can get rid of one. They get some everyday players.
Now think about this, guys. Fire Farhan says only Congress can. You think I'm serious? Gosh, it was obviously a joke. I know the law. I know. Guys are getting technical on me now, like
I know,
like with the Constitution. I mean,
oh my gosh, what is going on? Yeah, Kyle, I'll probably have to do that. I'm pretty sure sometime during the season I'll think of something really good.
So here's the thing: when you were doing a rebuild, you're going to have to give up some players you're attached to that you don't want to give up.
You have to give up stuff to get stuff.
And your biggest assets right now on this team in order are Webb, Duvall, probably Harrison. You don't have to give up Harrison. I think he's going to be fine. Build around him. And probably
maybe Bryce Eldridge.
Probably Bailey. Maybe Eldridge. But also Matos. Matos is really high up on the trade values.
Wisenhunt.
He's not too high as no. But see, what I would do is I like Los's idea because you won't know what you need until you play Ramos and Matos. And you don't have time to waste. You really don't. You need to get those guys up here. Let me ask you this, guys. People say, oh, if we bring up Ratos.
Right.
What's even funnier is if you say manos, which is hands in Spanish.
Okay, I'm just going to call them up. Hey, you got the Slaz brothers, now Ratos. They're a pair. You bring up Ratos. That's Ramos and Matos. Do you really people say, "Oh, you're throwing in the towel." Do you really seriously think they're going to do worse?
You're throwing in the towel playing the vets.
Exactly.
Jesus, get it right.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm fine with Conforto, but you could get something for Conforto if you pay part of his salary. You're only going to have it's $18 million, right? That's 616. So it's down to $15 million he's owed. If you pay $6-7 million of his salary, there's going to be somebody that wants a Michael Conforto. Okay, you can't bring up the Ratos bros and just play them now and then. You got to just play them. Hey, you're the right fielder, Elliot. Luis, you're the left fielder, and you got 3 guys under 25 in the outfield.
Man, that'd be exciting. That would
now you get me excited, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm doing on this show? You got this guy back, okay? You got this guy back. You're not going to see this guy for a while with Farhan, and I'm following teams that are exciting to watch. I like watching the Pirates. I watched them play tonight, and I like seeing guys that actually hit the ball. And it, you know what? It goes places, and they start running around these this diamond. These guys start running, and I watch them run, and they run from one bag to the next. And then sometimes I was watching another game tonight, and there was 2 guys on, and the pitcher threw the ball, and the catcher caught it. But you know what? There was 2 guys that started running at the same time, and and one of them made it to third, and the other one made it to second. And it was like, what is this? These guys they're running and running and running. And I only see the Giants running when it's a third out and they're on defense, and I see him running into the dugout. I see them walk a lot. They walk back to the dugout shaking their head. And they're always saying, no, that was outside. And then I'm saying, yes, that was on the line, on the outside line.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But yeah, I didn't know that you could run around those bases. And you know what else I saw? I saw the Padres tonight. They went and they ran past home 6 times. 6 times.
You know who the most bored person on the Giants team is right now? Bored. Take a guess.
Bob.
You won't guess it. You won't guess it, so I'll just answer it. The most bored person on the Giants team is the third base coach because he never has to do this. Never. Like maybe 3 times this year he's done this. Like his right arm probably doesn't even work because he's like waiting.
He's calcified. His shoulder is calcified.
Yeah. Like you don't do this on a home run. You just slap 5. Like you do this on a run scoring hit. He's done that 3 or 4 times this year. Bored out of his mind.
That's pretty good. Hey, I like what Destro says here. Remember this at the beginning of the season?
Oh, that
Johnson's quote. But we all represent a group that hopefully our goal is to somewhat break even, which is somewhat a challenge in this business. Remember that break even quote? Oh.
Yeah,
I recall that.
And in here, hold on. Nick gave us another 5. Thank you, Nick. Just cover this entire salary and get a B prospect for Conforto. This team is a dumpster fire, going nowhere, need more assets. Farm sucks.
Yeah, because
let's play the farm first, and then we can determine whether it sucks or not.
They obviously cannot really get good talent drafting under Farhan. They can't get good talent. They've made pretty much poor decisions on free agent. The only way to get talent is, can they get trading right? I don't know.
You know, another thing, I was watching the 4-game series, and I saw these guys in red running around the thing, and they went, do you know they went around 29 times? 29. And this team in black and orange, they only, for some reason, they were only able to make it in 4 games, only around 11 times.
Here's something that's going to hurt. The A's scored more in 1 game than the Giants did in a week.
The 20 game or the 20-run game?
With that $66 million payroll, all young guys, they scored more in 1 game than the Giants did in a week. Not 3 games, 7 games.
Oh, whoa. Glenn says the Giants only have 13 stolen bases as a team. How many players in big leagues right now have more than 13? I know Ellie does, right?
There's a handful. Ellie's up there. He's
Hold on,
number
let's
1.
look at.
Let's pull up the stats. I bet you there's 3 or 4 guys with more than 13 stolen bases. While you're looking that up, Michael Roeder says play Fitzgerald and bring up Ramos. Use speed and aggressiveness. DFA Slater and Murphy, and we're good or at least better. You're definitely better. I mean,
have you
cut
seen
the
this,
waist.
Have you seen the way the ball comes out of this kid Rodriguez's arm?
Oh, Randy, yeah, he's kind of got a higher arm slot.
Is he a potential closer so you can move?
He was the closer in Sacramento.
He's pretty filthy.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying about why you got to go see what Matos and Ramos can do, because if they can't cut it by July, then you go out and you try and get a couple of bookend guys.
Here we go. Ellie Dela Cruz, 19. Ronald Acuna has 14.
There's 2.
Caballero, 14.
3.
Harang, 14.
4.
Bobby
I told
Witt,
you there was 3 or 4 guys.
12. Jacob Young, 12. Lane Thomas, 11. Trey Turner, 10.
Wow. So
Depot, 9. Let's see, where's the Giant?
There's no giant. 4.
Estrada, I think, is leading the team.
I thought it was Fitzgerald with 4.
Man, it's not even showing the rest.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sign up.
he probably is Fitzgerald, and he's played about 7 games.
Oh my goodness.
I really don't understand why Lee is not stealing more. I really don't.
He doesn't. He's not confident in that. That's one area he's not. Do you know why he's not confident?
Baez has got more stolen bases. He's got 6.
Who does? Javi?
Baez?
You know why? You know why I say he's not confident, Los? Is he'll take off like he's stealing and then he'll stop and comes back. Because he's done it like 4 times where he's like he's stealing. To run. He doesn't have that.
He's not getting good jumps.
Something.
He had all spring training to work on going off of the pitcher's movement and working on that. He had a whole month to work on that. I'm
maybe he has PTSD from that first game when he got picked off by Yu Darvish.
He can't be scared of that. That's going to happen.
You know, it's another thing he's not doing. He's not taking any walks at all.
That's
his
why
on base is right around the same as the batting average.
I would get him out of the leadoff spot, and I wouldn't bat him 3rd.
No,
please. Why are you batting a guy? He has. Come on, put him 2nd. Put him 2nd. Let him slap the ball around with somebody that's on base. I mean, Wade's the guy getting on. Wade's on base percentage is like 450, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. He's like freaking Ted Williams level.
Get Wade in the leadoff spot for now. I mean, come on. This is like Wade can't steal, but at least he's on base. And you know what? Can we move Wilmer? I know I love Wilmer. I don't like to talk anything negative about Wilmer, but can we put Wilmer down around the 7 spot? Because when guys are on base and he grounds out, it doesn't matter if it's deep in the hole. It's a double. It's shortstop. I mean, he just doesn't move well.
I remember all the pushback I got when I said move Flores. People are like, he's our best hitter. He's our best hitter. Yeah, that's when I like moving people, when they come off of their career year.
Oh, yeah.
Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. How many times do I got to say that?
I know.
Do I need a stamp? Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. Jeez, it's not that hard.
I know. Now, his value was
high coming off of last year. He had great.
Yeah,
he
23 homers. He hit like 80-ish.
You could have got something for him. You know, some contending team would have used him as a part-time, third baseman, DH. Good player.
Here's a question, guys. After this series on the team, who is an all-star on this team?
Who's the one all-star that you have to pick?
Hicks. Right now.
Wade, because of his batting average.
Does he have enough at bats though? He doesn't have any.
Question. Probably not.
He doesn't even have enough at bats like to be in the batting.
I don't think Lee's an all-star right now.
No.
Webb's like blowing.
Webb isn't right now.
Hicks.
Doval.
I don't think there is an all-star. I think they changed the rule in punt and say. I think they say this is the year we don't have a representative.
Can Matt Williams be our all-star representative?
Oh, that's right.
Let him do this at the all-star game. Poor guy.
They should. You know what? They should send Matt Williams down to Sacramento to get his arm loose.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's an older guy. You need to move that thing to have it working. He's rubbing Ben Gay on it in between innings.
Oh, that's some 80s stuff there, man. Ben Gay.
Hey, that's why Dan gets a chuckle out of it, man. we know about the Ben Gay, man.
All the time, man.
To the high heavens, man.
It was always a Ben Gay, but it was either Deep Heat or Ben Gay.
Deep Heat, Ben Gay. That's like the sacrifice to the freaking muscle gods right there, man. Oh my god.
Who came up with that name?
I don't know.
Ben Gay.
Do they still
I'm sure
sell
they do.
that?
I think
in the
Ben
store?
Gay's still out there. Yeah,
If I popped it into Amazon, could you order that?
Oh, I'm sure you can.
and I'm sure there's
Wow.
I don't
yeah,
know if I would Google that, but
and I know there's probably
no. You know what would pop up, man.
well, I know there's a lot more guys named Ben or Gay out there than there was in the 80s.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Icy hot, yeah. I assume. Oh Lord. All right.
Oh,
Let's
man.
get back on track, guys. Focused.
Yeah. I'm just trying to give Matt Williams love,
Yeah.
I mean, just look at him over there. He's like a mannequin, man. He doesn't move the whole game. It's like, well, he's standing out there going, "What the fuck am I doing out here, man?" A few claps, a few let's go.
Hey Dan, this is for you.
Oh, hey Dan, what do you think? Hey, thanks Nick for the 10. Hey Dan, what do you think of the young chumps on Twitter who tried mocking you before the season? Now they're coping and seething, and you were right. They got nothing to say. Farhan sucks. Hey,
Perfect example. I had to deal with that today too.
yeah. Speaking of that, where's Giovanni?
Oh, he ain't coming around. He ain't coming around, man.
Giovanni. Oh,
Giovanni is Giovanni.
No. It isn't his call. Oh, wait. Hold on.
It's a fart.
No, wasn't it this?
Yes. Giovanni, that's your call. Where are you? Watch. If that guy shows up after a win, I'm going to throw his rear end out of here. I'm just going to say, don't show
That was
up.
so frustrating. I was pissed off today. I was like, where is this guy coming? Not that, but talking about talking about what Nick had to say. I was having a nice discussion, and this guy all of a sudden is like, "Go to bed, old head." I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm bringing up a nice argument here. Can you think of something better? And then he comes back. Oh, I'm living in your head. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Seriously, is this where we're going as a discussion as Giants? Is that the road that we're going to take now instead of having, hey, yeah, it's fine to disagree on it. Everyone has their own opinion, but is that the direction you want to go? You look like a freaking idiot. I don't get it.
Oh, that Kruk and Kai page is the worst.
Oh,
there are so many people in there that just have no idea.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm on the clowns out there that are.
It doesn't make sense.
Don't want to play the young guys. I don't understand your philosophy. Why do you give me? I did this exercise earlier, Lois, before you came in. Give me one player on the Giants who could start on the Phillies, and I think it was only Jung-Hoo Lee basically would be it because they don't have.
He would either.
He might not, but their center fielders so-so. I think Lee's probably a little better hitter, and he definitely is better outfielder. That guy blew both of Conforto's hits to the wall last night. He should have had both of those. But these guys
did you see Donovan Solano? Well, I didn't realize.
With the Padres. He's with the Padres now.
Did you see that one line drive he hit up the middle almost?
Yes.
The head of the.
Yeah.
That should have been a guy. I mean, he's not a great player, but he makes contact.
Somebody's going to claim him tonight.
He makes contact. He was a big part of that 21 team, man. He came through with a lot of big hits.
Yep. Donnie Barrels. He hit over 300. I don't know why Farhan wanted to get rid of him.
Those type of players are extinct nowadays. They're like the running back in football. Their value is lowered for whatever reason. High batting averages are not looked upon very well, and it's sad. It's very sad.
Yep.
Very sad.
I don't understand the mentality of the people that really still want to go. They don't want the young guys. And I'm like, well, what do you have? What are you afraid of giving up? What are you afraid of?
They're people that just, quite frankly, are scared of change. It's like they know Yaz and Slater, and even though they suck, it's like they're afraid of trying the new guys because they don't know them. I mean, what else could it be? Because if it's just a straight baseball discussion, like you can't justify and say, I want to keep Slater on this team. You can't.
I
What
don't
else
even
could
know
it
why
be?
you want Yaz. I mean, Yaz is he's not going to hit you more than 230, 235, maybe tops. And he's going to hit you some occasional home runs. And he plays great defense, but he's 33 and he's not giving you anything that's like above average. I mean, I don't get what people's hangup is. And, Nick Ahmed playing great defense. Play all the defense you want. You still can't score any runs. You're going to be – look, when I said it's going to take a minimum of 4 runs to beat the Phillies, a minimum this week. They got 4 runs once, and they still lost.
In a hitter's ballpark.
In a hitter's ballpark, yeah. 4 runs once. And if they don't score at least 7 runs in one of these 3 games against Colorado, my goodness.
It's going to be bad. The noise is going to get louder. Good.
I mean, I'm picking the
Rockies.
I'm taking 2 or 3 for the Rockies. I think it's
You think the Giants win or the Rockies?
no, I think the Rockies win. I think the Rockies win tomorrow night because the Giants are just landing probably in Denver, and the Rockies were sitting at home today having a day off.
That's that bet I told I mentioned the other night. Yeah.
Yep. And the Rockies they're going to be like, crap, we suck, but here's an opportunity to get well.
Yeah, we only need 6 runs to beat these guys.
I mean, are you serious that you want to keep these veterans? And I mean, Ahmed and Chapman, there's your 2 guys, and then you got Slater and Yaz. There's 4 guys. And you're not going to get rid of Chapman. I know that. You're stuck with him. But you can get rid of Ahmed, Slater, and Yaz. You can get rid of those 3 guys. You don't even have to get rid of Ahmed. You can just keep him as a defensive replacement.
Can you just imagine the joy on this show and the energy on this show if they brought those 3 guys up and Casey?
Oh yeah. Imagine if you brought all 4 of those guys up and what would happen if they started? Do you think Farhan's afraid if they started doing well that he might lose his job because of the money he spent?
That's what it is.
That's a good point, Dan. I didn't think about that one.
That's what it is.
I mean, what if those guys started carrying the team and all of a sudden he goes, crap, I just put out the owners.
Over $200 million.
Yeah. I gave Chapman, he's going to end up paying him $54 million. and I gave Yaz.
But I had a guy in my damn farm that was just as good.
And I gave Yaz 8 and Slater 4. That's 12. I'm up to $66 million. I don't know probably Ahmed not making much, but that's $66 million right there. I gave Soler $45 million. I'm over $100 million. He may be thinking like, crap, I didn't even know what I had because I refused to give them an opportunity. And yet I double speak and say the one regret I have is I didn't give Elliot Ramos enough chance last year. And I really I don't have the right glasses on, guys. I really should give. I need black ones. So I don't have any over here. Yeah, give Elliot Ramos a chance. You clown. What do you mean you regret it? The guy's your best hitter in your organization so far this year. Organization. Talking double A, probably single A. I don't know what's going on down there, but triple A and the big club. He's got 8 homers. He's hitting 275. Casey Schmidt's got averaging an RBI a game. You didn't even give these guys an opportunity. You didn't even You went out and signed guys because you didn't even want to start with those guys. And if you had listened to me, you would have had Shota Imanaga. You would have had Montgomery and Snell. And you would have had these young guys. And you probably could have got yourself Bellinger as well.
Do you remember the movie Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor? Brewster's Millions. He inherited some money, and he was a minor league pitcher. So if you don't know that movie, Eric, basically the minor league team played the major league team. I challenge the Giants on an off day to play the River Cats, and here's the bet: if the River Cats win that game, then the young guys come up and the veterans are let go.
They beat him good, and they already beat him good in the final spring training game.
They did. They destroyed them.
I'm telling you, I've said it on this show. I believe, and I do believe this. I believe the River Cats lineup is better than the Giants lineup.
Yep.
You cannot tell me it's not. You can't tell me it's not as productive.
Wizenhunt, is he pitching for Double-A or Triple-A now?
Triple-A. He pitched great the other day.
Oh, then Wizenhunt is my starter for the River Cats with that lineup. Let's go.
Yeah, you also got Black. I mean, you could say he would have been a River Cat as of yesterday. He was, but
yeah, I like the River. The San Francisco Giants would be a plus 160 in that game. They would be underdogs.
I know. Hey, I was watching the Cubs Padres tonight. Somebody said stop with Bellinger. They didn't want Bellinger. Yeah, Bellinger, fine, take him or leave him, whatever. But I'll tell you what, there was a base hit to center field, one of those like worm burners. It wasn't even hit that hard. It was just rolling on the grass from the time it left the infield, and it rolled. And I'm thinking, gee, Cronenworth was on second. I don't know who was on third, but the guy on third scored easily. And the balls, you don't even see the center fielder in the pitcher. You're just watching the ball come in, and it's Bellinger, and he finally picks up the ball, and I'm thinking Cronenworth is going to score easily. Bellinger fires a dart and almost got him. They were questioning whether they challenged the play, and I'm thinking that's an arm. The Giants, I mean, Lee's got a decent arm, but he doesn't have an arm like that. I was going to see if
I saw a clip earlier on Twitter. It showed Bo Jackson throwing out a guy at first base. God, that guy had an arm.
Gosh. From right field or
from left.
Oh, on a tag out where he.
Yeah, he was about halfway coming. He came in and caught it, and he saw the guy was trying to run back to first, and he just rifles.
He had a cannon. You know, Fernando Tatis has an arm on him too.
Yeah,
they don't mess with him.
Best outfield arms you've ever seen, Dan.
Ooh,
Clemente,
Roberto, one, Ellis Valentine,
Dave Parker.
Yeah,
All-Star game.
You know who had an arm?
Bo Jackson. Do you remember Ellis Valentine's the Expos? Oh my goodness!
Was it Dawson or was it Valentine that had the gun?
Valentine.
It was Valentine.
I think it was
who had an arm?
Both of them did, but I think Valentine was the one.
Cespedes had an arm.
Yeah.
Glennis Cespedes. Remember he from
left
field corner all the way to home.
How about that? How about that other center fielder? Think about this. How many guys have the A's like over the years drafted and developed that have turned out to be pretty good players?
Their scouting system has been good. Our scouting department for over 20 years has been good. They just can't re-sign them because they don't have the money. But
Core had an arm. Frank Core.
Ichiro had a good arm.
Ichiro had an arm.
For a little guy.
Oh, yeah. Geraldo Parra. I forgot about him. He had
Vlad Sr. Somebody said.
Senior. Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't Puig have a pretty good arm?
Yeah.
Puig had
a good arm. Yeah.
Still had a cannon. Yeah, I love to see those good arms from the outfield, man. That's the game right there.
You know, here's a player. Name a player that you recall 70s, 80s that you thought was going to be like, I got one in mind, but you thought was going to be like the superstar for years, MVP, that was just going to take the league by storm. That did pretty good, but maybe didn't really.
Hitters or pitchers?
Hitters.
Okay.
See if we're landing on the same guy. I'm gonna type it out here so it.
Are you talking about specific for a Giant or any team?
Any player
where you expected the big thing, but he really didn't do too much?
No, he did something, but
He did okay, but like you thought he was going to be like a superstar.
I thought he was going to be the superstar of superstars in the game.
God, there's a lot of different ways you can go with that one.
Seeing Ken Phelps, Joe Charbonneau,
Van Poppel. Yeah, he was a pitcher though.
I always thought Cecil. I always thought Cecil Cooper was going to be a great player.
Bobby Bonds, Greg Jeffries. This guy was pretty good for for a few years. He was great. In fact, he was borderline. I guess he was great, but he wasn't. He didn't do what he. I mean, this guy's not a Hall of Famer, but I think he should have been Fred Lewis, of the center fielder for the Giants.
Yeah.
You guys ready for my guy?
Yeah, go for it.
I'll give you a hint. Played on the Red Machine. Well, he wasn't part of the Big Red Machine during that 70s, but he played on the Reds.
Eric Davis.
Eric Davis. Yep.
Wasn't
he racked by injury?
That guy he had everything, man.
He's a 5-tool player.
He was he had power, speed, arm, he could hit for average. I mean, I thought that guy was the next Willie Mays. I really did.
I was at Candlestick when he was at first, and there was an errant pickoff throw, and he scored. He scored on an errant pickoff throw to first.
Exactly, Senior. That's what I was saying. The injuries just did him.
Yeah, he was so good for a couple years. I mean, he was going to be when he came up to the plate. Remember, he's like that. He had that. You just thought, oh my gosh,
he's ready to go. He wants to uncork.
I don't want to see this guy. Do you remember back in the day when certain guys came up, they just put fear
intimidated.
in you?
Yeah.
And there's guys that are there today. There's not one guy in the Giants and this is what I said opening day. There's not one player that scares anybody on the opposing team. I mean, I look at that thing and I just go, it's like today, for example.
Thanks, Robert.
They were pitching to they had an open base, Wheeler, and was it Conforto that was it last night's game or today's when they just said, I don't think he's going to give in. I think it was today's. No, maybe it was last night. Not going to give in to Conforto with Chapman. He knows he's got Chapman, a struggling Chapman. And yep, just bring up Chapman, man. I mean, if I got men on base and I got an open base and I'm a right-handed pitcher and I see Chapman's on the on-deck circle and the coach, like, just put him on. I want to save my arm for Chapman, man. I used to do that when we played wiffle ball with certain guys. It's like, oh, we had little teams. It's like, oh man, Johnny's coming up. Let's wait till Johnny comes up. Let's wait till Matty comes up, man. Here comes.
I like what Jackie Moon has to say, especially the last part. For the Phillies, their 7, 8, 9 are better than our 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah,
yep,
yeah.
That Giants kind of speaks to what you're talking about as far as is there any threat in that lineup right now?
There's no threat. I mean, the only guy that I would say makes me like think you might get a possible 2-3 run homer is Conforto.
Yeah.
That's
Speaking of intimidating, who do you think was the most intimidating pitcher?
Bob Gibson.
What about Goose Gossage? Pretty intimidating.
I thought Nolan Ryan was pretty dang intimidating.
Nolan Ryan's a good one.
Because Gibson and Ryan were similar.
Randy Johnson. I like that, Jim.
Pedro threw inside a lot. And he would throw at your head. He didn't care.
But so would Nolan Ryan. He didn't care. You remember when Robin Ventura came out to the mound?
Oh, he got his butt whooped, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Got him in a headlock.
I mean, Ryan was like 40 years old.
I know.
And he just
don't mess around with that old man strength, man.
No way, man. I watched. Pull this John Boy up on. Let's close with this. We've been going to us. Pull up John Boy. I can't pull. There was a fight. It was about a 6-7 minute long thing. Courtesy of John Boy. This is classic. You're gonna love this, Los. This is right up your wheelhouse. This is Latin baseball, winter ball. And
I think that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
But he played his 6-7 minute clip today. It's a fight where Cabrera.
It's on Twitter, is it?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. Cabrera clotheslined the guy.
Is it like in the Winter League?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, they don't play around down there.
Oh my goodness, this was a brawl.
Love that.
And this was so funny. But John Boy's narrating the whole thing, and what's great about it, I mean, somebody threw a baseball and hit one of the guys in the middle of the fight right in the head, right in the noggin.
Hey, I tell you, like I've been to a lot of baseball games in my life, but like Venezuela versus Puerto Rico in the WBC in Phoenix, Mexico versus USA, very passionate, very passionate. Loved it. It was like a soccer or a football game. It wasn't a baseball game.
When did he post this? Because
I saw it today.
Is it under John Boy Media? Because he's got a whole bunch, man. What is it under? Is it under Talking Baseball?
You know maybe did I send it?
They got so many. He's got so many different.
Hold on. Maybe I sent it to myself, and then I could send it to you.
If you just tell me where it's at and like when it was.
Hold on here. Shoot, I did not send that to. Who did I send that to? I guess did I send it to? Maybe I didn't send that. Darn.
I don't remember Ryan brushing back a lot of guys like Gibson and Pedro did. Man, Pedro was, for a little guy, he didn't care. If you got on top of the plate, Pedro Martinez would back you off, and he'd go up at your head. He even pointed to a guy one time and said, "I'll hit you here in la cabeza." You can play around, man.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Old school baseball.
Let's bring this up. Actually, let me hit this. Check out this owner. Here we go.
Are you ready? I was born ready. Do all the owners do this? I spent how much money for this? This reminds me of my bar mitzvah picture.
That's great. That's great, man. Would you ever see Greg Johnson do something like that?
No.
I love it, man. Orioles are in good hands right now.
That's how an organization is run.
He's having fun, man.
Oh,
Fan base loves their young guys.
there's a red lab out there, just like my Faith that was with the A's game on the tarp. Ah, that's cool. I can't seem to find it. I thought
I bet you it must have been a long time ago or something, and it's just maybe it just got
maybe
somehow
somebody
it got in your feed from a while
yeah.
back.
Anyway, we'll have to find it sometime. But it was. Oh wait, how do you spell Cabrera? How do you say his name? Azubal. How do you spell that?
Oh, Asdrubal.
Yeah.
ASDRU.
ASUDRABAL.
Asdrubal.
No, ASUDR.
ASUDR.
Asdrubal.
I don't think there's a U before the D. I thought it was ASDRU.
Yeah.
Asdrubal.
Right.
Where's Google? I like that, Kilt. That's good.
Okay. Anyway, it was unbelievable. It was like a 6-7 minute fight.
There it is.
Didn't Dave Winfield?
Did you find it?
No, that someone typed it in the chat.
Oh.
Didn't Dave Winfield rush them out on Kruko one time? You don't want to hit Dave Winfield.
6'7".
He's a big dude.
Dave Winfield.
Yeah. Kruko didn't want no part of him coming out, but he did. Oh, there have been some classics. Some that have gone on a while.
Wow.
The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks had one a few years ago, and I think it was Matt Williams and Mark McGuire were like the hitting coaches.
Oh yeah, they were going at each other,
and they were holding each other like.
Yeah, I remember McGuire was like this.
Yeah,
he was roid raging, man.
Yeah, he
was crazy, man.
Yeah, but Matt Williams was like, Matt, don't. Yeah, I've heard stories.
Wow.
Will Clark told a great story about Matt Williams. Talked the fan that was talking crap.
Well, we will end it here tomorrow night, guys. We're going to come on at 8:30. Giants play at 5:40. Is it? Let's see. What time is Giants game here? Tomorrow's game is 5:40. So 6:40, 7:48. Yeah, hopefully it's over by 8:30 because that's the plan. We'll have Ned Coletti join us, and we'll get some stories tonight. In the Bay Area Hall of Fame, Brian Sabian was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he was. Absolutely. Should be fun tomorrow.
So we'll have Ned he's got to go. He's only got an hour. So we probably should have pushed it to Wednesday night. Would have been a better night, but
it is Coors Field. It could be a lot of runs, at least from a Colorado point of view.
So I know
if we have to start it early, we could do the post game afterwards.
Yeah, we'll be the post game will be probably afterward. This is going to be. We'll talk Ned for an hour, some ball, and we'll be joined up with Larry, and so check us out tomorrow night, guys, 8:30. Ned Coletti, and we'll see what happens with the Giants. I got the Diamondbacks beating the Giants tomorrow.
Diamondbacks.
The Rockies.
I mean the Rockies. I mean, gosh, the Rockies. I'm going to take the Rockies. I'm going to say the Giants.
Who's the Giants got go pitching?
Harrison.
and then the day after.
That would be Hicks, and then win.
Prediction for tomorrow, Eric.
Gosh, I don't know. But remember in Colorado, man, the off-speed stuff doesn't off-speed too well. Remember, they kind of hang.
Let me check the weather out there for tomorrow in Denver.
Commanding the zone. Is this slider going to slide? I mean, he's got that fastball.
Colorado can hit the fastball.
I think all 3 games are going to be monstrous games as far as score, like 5-7. Freaking. They may even get into double digits because it's just.
It's cold.
Oh, is it cold?
Well, it's in the tomorrow's the high 61, the low 37. So you're probably at 6:40, 7 o'clock game. You're probably playing in the mid 50s.
Yeah, but that's still a big alleyways out there for as far as extra hits.
And then same Wednesday's 59, and then 56 high Thursday.
Interesting.
So you're not going to see the ball flying probably in that cold weather. Maybe it still might a little bit.
But the problem is the pitches are going to be a lot more flat, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get those big curveballs. I don't know how the splitter will play because both Hicks and Wynn really rely on that.
A lot of hits fall in that outfield.
I'm going to say tomorrow's score, Rockies 7, Giants 4 or 5.
That seems reasonable. You think they'll get 7 off Harrison? I don't know. Maybe
not Harrison, but once the bullpen's tired. I think they'll get a few off Harrison.
Yep.
9-1 Rockies. Northern Light says 5-4. 5-4 who, Glenn? Giants or Rockies? Good guys or bad guys?
I don't know. What do we call the Giants now? Are they good or?
No.
I got good guys 7, bad guys 4. They're not bad. The Farhanians.
I got 12-5 Rockies.
Really?
I like Glenn's. I like 5-4 Rockies. That seems pretty legit. 5-4. I like that, Glenn.
What are you taking? You're taking Rockies too?
I'm going to take Rockies as well. 5-4.
All 3 of us. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to say that, but I mean, the way that they've been playing,
I think the Rockies are due.
They are landing late. Remember, Giants bats will be a little tired.
They may have just landed now.
And here's the thing: the Rockies are 8-26. They're gonna lose 100+ games, but they're also gonna win 50 games. They're gonna beat somebody.
This is the time to beat the Giants because they're on.
Yes,
yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think they get the Giants 2 out of 3, and then I think the Giants get them the follow at home. The Giants will take.
That's a good point. The Rockies are catching the Giants at a time where they could get beat.
Yeah.
12.
I don't think it's gonna. I think I'm gonna go with Sam as well. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, but I think maybe the Rockies do take 2 out of 3. That's a high possibility right there. If they get swept, if the Rockies sweep the Giants, does that fast forward anything? Does it fast forward anything?
Yes, it does. I hope so.
What do you think? In what sense?
I think the pressure mounts that you gotta at least bring up 1 or 2 of the young guys.
Okay.
I don't think it means Farhan gets the axe.
No, he's not going to get the can.
But if they get swept and then come home and go 1-5 on the homestand, I think ownership could say we've got to do something drastic because we're losing in base.
And guess what? Here's another thing that I didn't even think about. The Giants no longer have a scapegoat to protect Farhan, right?
No.
There's no scapegoat. This all falls on Farhan's head. You cannot blame Melvin for this.
No.
Not like they did with Kapler, right? Kapler was kind of right, to be able to get rid of him and put the blame, put the onus on him. It can't do that now. So
yeah, I think Cincinnati.
It's going to be Farhan for sure.
Cincinnati's going to be a tough team to beat because of their speed.
Yes.
And the Giants, and they put the bat on the ball. Giants will do fairly well at home this year. Their pitching will keep them in games.
Right.
Pitching will keep them in games. They will right this ship at some point to the point where, they're not going to – I don't see them completely as a 90 loss team. It could happen, but I see them more as like a 77, 85, right in there, 78, 84. I think, the Giants can go 500 the rest of the year and finish 6 under.
Yep. Exactly. So tomorrow, am I going to have to dust off the Giants loss to the worst team in the National League? Am I going to have to dust that off tomorrow?
Oh, the worst team.
Am I going to have to dust that
I
off?
think so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that tomorrow night.
I believe you will.
But I don't think you may not be able to do it until Ned's gone.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it when that's, I want to do it. I think you had to get a kick out of it, but I'll wait.
The good news is that the Giants will score a few runs in the next 3 games, and Matt Williams will finally get to use that right arm.
Yep. I think the Giants in the next 3 games.
Ben Gay, buddy. Ben Gay. Loosen it up. Rub it on.
Dave Fleming's going to be like, there's a certain aroma up here, and I don't know. I can't put my.
I think the Giants score 19 runs in the next 3 games, but lose 2 of them.
19.
That's an average of
about 6 a game.
They'll average about 6. They'll do one of the games where they don't score 4 runs.
Necron, yes, that's the worst team. But I'm talking about the worst team in the National League, not the worst team in the major leagues. I had to dust that one off last year when they lost to the A's. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Hey, you're going to lose games. It's just going to happen. The worst team can beat the best team in baseball. Yep. But I really didn't. I mean, didn't I guarantee 3 out of 4 to the Phillies before the series started? I did. Yeah. I said they will lose at least 3 out of 4. And I didn't think they'd win the Boston series. I don't think they're hardly going to win. They are going to win some series. I think the next series they win is Colorado on their homestand. They could win the Cincinnati series too. They could. If
Cincinnati's pitching is also coming.
Where are they
at?
Hold on, let me see where they're. Let me take before.
They might shut the Giants completely down.
They might.
I got Lodolo. He's filthy.
Wow.
I'm just going to look at the standings real quick just to see what they're doing here.
Who, the Reds?
Ooh, they're 16 and 18. They've lost 5 in a row.
Cincinnati?
Yes.
Who they got this week?
That I don't know. Let me look at the schedule.
That's my National League pick, man.
Let's go. Where's Tuesday? Where are you?
They got the day off tomorrow.
They're going to play Arizona.
Oh, yeah, they're there. Okay. So they got the Reds or the Diamondbacks at home for 3, and then they come to San Francisco. So
we'll see. Let's see what they're 7 and 8 on the road, 9 and 10 at home.
Interesting. Wow.
But they're scoring a lot of runs, 152. That's decent.
Did you guys hear the top 5 teams leading the league in home runs in baseball?
Let me guess, Dodgers.
No, they're not. The Dodgers are 4th, I believe.
No kidding. Who's first?
2nd. Who do you think's first, guys? Don't look at the chat.
Nope, don't look at the chat.
Don't look at the chat.
I got my hand over it.
And home runs?
Yeah, home runs.
Baltimore.
Yep. That's 1. See if you can get the top 5.
Oof.
One of them's going to blow you away or throw you off.
Baltimore, the Dodgers.
That's 2.
Yeah, we already said Dodgers. You said Dodgers are 4, right?
The Phillies.
I believe.
No, I don't think the Phillies are in there, are they?
Hold on, I'll pull it back up again, guys. Give me 1 second here. Okay, go ahead.
Texas?
Phillies are in there. They're 5th.
Oh, they are. They're 5th. Wow.
Texas?
Nope.
Kansas City?
Nope.
Brewers?
Nope. Dodgers are 2. Baltimore's 1.
Who's
Phillies
number
are
2?
5. Think historic. Who's always?
Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees are 4.
Yankees. Yep. Oh,
No.
then who's number 2?
No, the Dodgers. It's 3 that you're going to have a hard time guessing. Don't look at the chat.
No, I'm not. I got my hand over the chat.
Cleveland.
Nope.
Not Minnesota, is it?
No.
The Cubs.
No.
Pittsburgh?
Nope.
The A's.
Yep.
No way.
Wow.
The A's are 3rd in baseball in home runs.
Is that it? Are we done now?
Yep. We're done. Got all 5. Hey,
Yes, I suck. Dodgers. I suck.
Yeah. Cryptic. I know your feelings, but I would ask you to please refrain from that tomorrow night, from putting that comment in the chat tomorrow.
What, he say something about?
Yeah, let's.
Yeah?
No. Just
He wouldn't.
Yeah, let's try to keep it. Let's try to keep it.
Oh, Larry, that's right.
Yeah.
Keep it on a straight and narrow.
yeah, just be cordial to people.
And I will be monitoring the chat pretty close tomorrow, just so
Yeah.
you guys know. And I'll send out a warning before everything starts.
Yeah.
Get it all out tonight, Cryptic.
All right.
Why are you against Larry so much? What do you say?
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody has. I mean, we all have our.
You can have a difference of opinion. And
I got my detract. I got my detractors. When I go on Larry's show, there's a couple guys that just want to just come at me.
Oh,
but
Jim agrees. Wow, they're all coming out. Oh, probably because he said something against Jung Hoo. He never liked Jung Hoo. So what? He's entitled to his opinion. He didn't think he would be all that good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's all it is. It's just
it's just an opinion. He actually thinks Jung Hoo. I talked to him recently. Thinks Jung Hoo is good. They just think he's overpaid. So,
80% of baseball is overpaid. If we want to
Yeah.
be real, we can go down every contract and say, okay, overpaid or underpaid, and I guarantee you, most are overpaid.
yeah. What is that? Larry always hating on Dan? Jim Everett? Nah, he's not hating on me. It's a lot of it's just
in jest.
in jest. Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah. All righty, guys.
Better hit the music here. Let's go. Where are we at? There we
Hey guys,
From himself.
by the way, the Dodgers are starting.
Yeah, they're starting to put together.
Give you an idea. The Giants are 8.5. 8.5, and I told you the other day they'd be over 10 by the end of next week. It may be 12. I don't think the Dodgers are going to lose more than 5 games the rest of the May. I don't know. I haven't even looked at their schedule, but
Just because of the way they've been playing.
they're just getting on that roll.
And they got a lineup to make up for any deficiencies in their pitching right now.
Right.
The way that the lineup is producing, they can absorb the pitch. The starting pitching can go out there, and you know what? If I give up a run or two here, that's fine because I know my lineup's going to pick me up. When you have that confidence behind you, it's going to do a lot. Other than like a Giants pitcher, which is I got to freaking make every pitch count because I know my lineup ain't got my back. So it's a little bit different.
Look at their schedule. They got the Marlins the next 2 nights. Then they got the Padres for 3. Then they come to San Francisco for 3. Then they're
Padres will
home,
give them a fight.
home to the Reds for 4. And then they got the Diamondbacks for 3. And then the Reds again for 3. and then the Mets for 3, and they close out against the Rockies in the month of May. So I could see them in their next, how many games was that? 2, 5, 8, 12, 15, 18, and 22 games. I could see the Dodgers doing like a 17-5.
Ooh, I can see something.
That'll be, and the Giants will be so far back.
Giants, Dodgers will clinch the division by the end of June.
I do think they can clinch it early September.
But that's not good because then you start resting people and you don't play,
Yeah.
and then you get stale, and then you lose in the first round.
Cryptic Trader, you might be right with that. Dave Roberts does not manage well in the playoffs.
Good point.
But anyway, guys, thanks for joining tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night again, 8:30. Again, Ned Coletti will join us along with Larry Kruger. And until then, have a great.
Wait, real quick.
What you got?
Real quick.
Have a great Tuesday. What
Who
do
would
we
you
got?
rather have?
Who'd I rather? Oh, this is ERAs?
I think people will know who this is.
One of
Look at
them
that K
Webb?
percentage. Woo!
One of those guys Webb?
Maybe, maybe not.
I have no idea. Oh, Webb and Yamamoto.
Pretty good ERA.
Yeah.
The ERA plus, that's pretty good too. That's taken in consideration in the
Wow.
ballpark.
Wow.
Well, there we go. Anyways.
All right, guys. Well, fun. Hey, guys, thanks for joining. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great one.